Morning. Morning.
Hi.
Good fucking morning.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
I'm a little tired.
But I hope.
A little tired
yeah.
today. A little punchy. Not in a bad way, just tired.
That's any day. I'm just fucking
Really?
exhausted.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good usually. I'm just tired. Trying to fucking work out again. It's just,
Yeah.
ugh, Christ, getting back into it is a nightmare.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Well, I took the summer off because of the kid, and I did a lot of cardio and biking and stuff. But, you know, lifting those weights at our age, fuck, man, getting back into it. Jesus, what's up with our joints? What the hell is this joint shit about?
You got to do it a lot and consistently. You don't get it.
What happens? We lose the juice in our joints?
I guess the juice goes away.
Is that what it is?
The joint juice.
And now it's just rubbing or something?
It's just like,
And we're not even that old. I mean, fuck, but
yeah, that's it.
shit's starting to break down.
Could be, you know.
Could be worse. I know, Steve Jobs. I
Could be
guess at
Steve
least
Jobs.
I guess it leads to Steve Jobs. By the way, I like pointing out that there's no God. I think
Yeah.
there might be something, but I don't think man has defined it yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, people, but I really just don't. You got a guy that is like one of the most important human beings to live in a long fucking time, has changed how we look at the world. And God goes, yeah, I'm going to take you away now.
Well,
56 years.
Needed him up there. He needed him up there.
I hate the people that are
I
romanticizing.
know.
We just heard one on, and if you hear this, please call us on MSNBC. They're like, well, I guess he's up there designing something with Walt Disney.
Ew.
Disney.
They
What,
said
to
that
keep
on,
blacks out?
Yeah.
I hate that. Stop romanticizing death. We all got to face it, but Jesus, let's not make it so romantic.
Yeah.
Is there any way to avoid pancreatic cancer? Like, is there like, oh, if you do this, you probably wouldn't get it?
I
Or
really
is
don't-
that just total genetics?
Hank?
I think that's pretty genetic. Yeah.
That's horrifying. If it's just luck of the draw, like you can't avoid it and you can't get it.
I had horrendous acid reflux about a year ago, so I was getting everything fucking checked out, every organ. And when it was pancreas day, I stopped breathing because any other organ, if there's something going on, there's a lot of things, you know. But that's a death sentence.
Why can't they just throw a new one in?
They can't do it yet.
I know, they can't figure that one out.
Because Steve Jobs, what, he had a liver transplant, right?
Yeah, in like 2009, they put his new liver in him and
But that pancreas will fucking knock you out of the game.
knock you for a loop.
But Ann was making the point he had it for 8 years, which means he had some health care.
Yeah, that fucking shit is a death sentence, pretty much. But you know something? He was worth, what did they say, $8.3 billion?
Yeah,
That'll get you some pretty good health care.
yeah, he got some shit that you and I do not get when we go to the doctor.
Yeah, a lot of people with the same diagnosis, they don't quite carry on as long as he did. I'll tell you, a state-run healthcare provider, I don't think he'd do as well.
No.
As having billions of dollars to spend on your health. So
56 is not old, man.
That's nothing in this day. I mean, we got William Shatner coming in at 81, and he's still doing it.
yeah, he could have been, you know.
Or 80, whatever he is.
Who
He's
knows?
At least 80, right?
Who knows what he would have come up with next? Ooh, maybe an iPhone 5. A lot of people disappointed at that whole thing. But
The stupid 4S.
yeah, a lot of people are disappointed. But then I was reading.
Guys, you know why it's called 4S, right?
Why?
For Steve.
For Steve.
For Steve.
Yes.
The
For
S
me.
represents Steve. For
Oh,
Steve.
Isn't that nice? They were saying though, like, hey, we never said there was going to be an iPhone 5. They were like, we never said it really. A lot of people speculated, but we said there was going to be an iOS 5.
You know what?
An operating system.
You're describing yourself perfectly right now.
Yeah.
You're bitching that there's not an iPhone 5 and the world is mourning the death of a genius. And you're like, well, fuck his death. Where's my iPhone 5?
Where's my iPhone 5? Actually, Bobby Kelly was going off on that, which is
Yeah.
quite funny. He's like, yeah, Steve Jobs is dead, huh? So any news on that iPhone 5? Yeah, really. But it's not a surprise, which is the thing. You know, everybody kind of knew he was going when he retired a couple of months back.
We said it, but a lot
yeah,
of people
we were
said
here
that.
going like, uh
He's only
oh.
have I think we said he only has a few months left.
You said
at that point.
he'll be dead within a year. I thought you were wrong. I thought
Really?
not because even though he was very sick, I'm like, he's probably just going to let someone else do it to get them accustomed. But you were right.
No, man, he looked like the type of guy that would work right up until his
Yeah.
until his last day.
He looked horrible in that picture. That last fucking photo.
Oh, he was,
That was
just a
terrible.
a
Oh, where
wreck.
where the scumbags took his picture outside his home.
Yeah.
He didn't even look like he ever did. You know, like you look at his young pictures, you could not tell that was the same person. He just, yeah, I guess that shit just eats you up. Mm-hmm. He went through his like chubby phase, and then he went through his I'm fucking withering away phase.
But then in what 2005, he claimed that he pretty much beat it,
He
right?
was cancer free, I think.
Cancer free.
Yeah.
He did that famous speech at a college.
Yeah.
And talking about how death changes, when you're looking at death, how it changes you. And you think differently.
You go for the gusto.
Yes.
So
yes.
weird
You
how-
have nothing to lose.
Cancer free doesn't mean anything. It's like you're cancer free, but then you're not.
Yeah,
Fucking sucks.
You're only cancer free until you're not. Yeah.
That's why I want Obama again. I want all money going into fucking stem cells. I'm telling you, this type of shit should be fixable.
Yeah.
And I don't want it.
maybe, but
Oh boy, you said Obama.
No, but I mean, he's the guy that's going to go for.
Oh,
he's going
boy.
to keep. I don't care about the rest of the stuff. This type of shit is ridiculous.
I want anybody in there that would be, for stem cell
I agree.
research.
Yeah, anybody.
I mean, Obama can't get anything done. Fucking stem cells, he's in office. Where are they?
I got him mailed to me. They mailed me some stem cells.
Did you
Oh,
get
really?
some
Yeah.
stem cells?
Like, yeah, Jim.
Love
Little-
those
So you're
things.
just staring at him going,
So much fun.
I don't know what to do with
There was
these
a
things.
pile of infant carcasses. I had to get them myself.
Pluck them out.
You had to try to figure it out yourself. Imagine, here's your stem cells.
Yeah,
Plonk.
yeah. This should help with your flu.
Well, Steve Jobs, everyone's talking about it today.
Shame.
Man,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, they were all over the news, sucking his dick.
he had a long haul, though.
Good. He deserves it.
Yeah.
But he had a long haul.
Well, he was always a very motivated guy. It's just it. He was always in the shit.
But he really hit big in what? 84, they're saying?
84.
No.
Well,
84 was the famous Super Bowl commercial.
yeah, that's the one. And then I guess they gave him the boot in maybe 86.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back.
90.
Yeah, 90.
I want to say
96.
90. I thought 98. I want to say 98.
We're just blurting years out. It doesn't matter.
No.
They fired him. They brought him back. He saved the company and gave a bunch of
Well, the point I was trying to make,
gave us a bunch of fun things.
only in the last, 7 to 8 years is when the whole fucking thing exploded for him. I'm talking about his pancreas.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
97. Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything just exploded.
Yeah.
It all came together for
The,
Apple.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it wasn't really the computer that did it. It was that goddamn iPod. When that iPod came out, people were just like, "Whoa, this is great!" And then the computers followed. People started going like, "Oh, well, Apple, what? They're still around?" Because Windows-based computers. Just huge. PCs,
Right.
Huge.
You forget.
It looked like Apple was done,
You forget, right?
and then
What
that
did
was
PC
it.
do wrong, you think, after the iPod? Because they tried their stupid.
Yeah,
Zune?
Zune. They just couldn't get it together. As far as Apple was so much more intuitive and user friendly.
It was just sleek.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was just
Looked
easy
cool.
to use and looked cool.
yeah. Apple was more for the individual and anything Windows based was corporate, man.
Well, shit, yeah. Look at these computers outside our studio. When you have to jump on that real fast, you're like, oh my God.
One of those.
Yeah.
I keep a few around the house.
The Windows?
Yeah, every so often you need them. You got
Yeah.
shit going on. Still use them for video games because, Apple not so much.
Not so much for that.
Yeah. And so I make myself feel good every so often playing a video game on a PC because I actually am able to play it well. instead of with a console controller.
You still can't
like
do the console.
Fucking tard that I am. Oh boy, could I shoot around everybody? I'm the best at shooting around anyone that's running at me
Really?
with a machine gun, and they just wax me.
To work a controller,
Fuck.
you need hand karate. I call it hand karate.
Hand karate.
You know, like you have to move your fingers in ways you've never moved them before.
I just can't zero my fucking target in. I can't zero that reticle in to fucking fire on somebody, especially when they're moving.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there it is. Too far left, up too far right. Up. If I could get that reticle on the fucking target, I'm amazing.
Right.
And I could do it with a mouse and keyboard.
Right.
It's second nature. You know, you're never using your computer and go, fuck, I keep missing the link. I can't click it. I keep going over it and then over it again, and I'm clicking and I'm missing the link. It's second nature to you to be able to zero right in, click, you're done.
But that's your problem because a 12-year-old could do it like it's nothing.
Exactly. Oh, Uncle Paul.
So what is it? You think it's the juice leaving our joints?
It's some of the juice leaving the joints.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
fucked up. Silly Goose, would you rather take your chances with pancreatic cancer or drug-resistant AIDS? Jesus Christ. That's a horrible question. You got to go with the AIDS, though.
Getting the AIDS is a lot more fun.
Yeah, no.
A lot more fun, and it
They should have a story.
takes a good solid 10 years before everything starts kicking in, right? Or
Well,
something
that's
like
true,
that.
too. You got a little time before you even start feeling anything.
Then again, pancreatic cancer you can't give to somebody else.
We lost a good
Yeah.
we lost a good friend of the show to the pancreatic cancer. Really healthy fucking guy, within a year dead. Good old Dr. Filatov from the WNEW days.
Kidding.
Diamond Vision, remember him?
Yes.
He did all our eyes.
Sure.
The peepers.
He did all our eyes. He did 1 million of them in my family, and certainly a lot of listeners got their eyes done from Dr. Filatov.
Yeah.
One day I got the call that he was gone. I'm like, I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, shit creeps up on you. Yeah, that's some bad shit.
What else on Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs' death is a publicity stunt, really?
Oh, really? He's
That's
still
coming
alive? People are at the Apple store, I guess. They're going to the Apple store in Manhattan and leaving flowers
Why?
and lit candles and Macintosh apples in tribute.
What assholes. People
are
starving
just-
and they're leaving apples on Fifth Avenue because a guy died.
Yeah.
People are
Dummies.
just weird, man. They're just
people-
weird.
People really need this connection
Yes.
thing, and it's just the dumb. Whenever I see a roadside memorial, I want to fucking crash my car into it.
Yeah, why-
It's just- I hate the roadside memorial.
because it bums everyone else out. I'm sorry for your loss, but I don't want to be bummed out while I'm driving to Philly.
Bums you out. It's like, how about this one? There's in my neighborhood. There's a turn that I guess a tree fell just out of nowhere. A fucking huge branch fell and killed somebody.
It's close to your house?
Yeah. This is a while ago.
Okay. Was
It's-
this part of the hurricane
it's
thing?
No, this is years ago.
Okay.
When I make that turn, still to this day, there's the tree stump because they had cut the tree down where the branch fell and killed the person. There's a tree stump and there's flowers and a cross nailed to it. It's like, isn't the person in a fucking cemetery? Don't decorate your goddamn neighborhood up like a fucking cemetery. It's depressing. For the love of God.
Yeah, we avoid cemeteries to begin with.
Yeah, what am I going to do?
So why don't you
Fucking skip through there?
leave a sign that just says enough already?
Enough already. Right. Move on. Move along. Nothing to see here.
This is one of those in Huntington. We're just outside of town with teddy bears and pictures. And the pictures are in plastic. And
That's
look,
great.
it's horrible for the family. I'm not even going to fucking try to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but it's depressing for everybody. What purpose is that serving? Society.
Society. Look at that. A cross nailed to a telephone pole with flowers.
Just
Jim
rubbish.
Brown. What? Really?
We should run for office and make that our goal to get rid of all
Make
that.
it illegal.
Make it illegal.
Oh, God. Imagine the outcry and outrage you'd get from.
I guess people have to do this type of thing, I guess. You know.
And then what do they also go to the cemetery?
Look, my dad fucking died on the road. We don't have shit out there.
No.
We just don't have shit out there. We don't want to bum everyone else
You
out.
got a place. Oh, God. What is that? Jesus Christ. They got fucking a wreath on a sign. Obviously, he was on a motorcycle and rammed into that sign.
Mm-hmm.
Jiminy Cricket.
Then a huge piece of cardboard with 2, 4, 6 huge pictures.
Yeah.
Then you got, what else? What is that thing?
And they're not even done well. I mean, if you're going to do something, make a mold out of plywood and pour some concrete and build yourself like a monument. But they're horrible cardboard with bad printed out pictures that end up faded from the sun or running from the rain.
Sorry they didn't take an art class after their son was killed.
It's a death
horrifically.
collage. I love driving past your death collage.
Did you notice that the plants are in tire planters?
Yeah. There's motorcycle tires laying there, and they filled them with dirt and put some flowers in there.
Why not go with a decoupage?
A decoupage?
A decoupage would
Get out
last.
there with your glue gun, and
I think a decoupage would last through the winter.
isn't that shellacked?
Yeah,
over
that's what I'm
wood?
saying.
Yeah,
Let's decoupage.
that'll do it.
Stupid decoupage. Did you guys decoupage growing up?
Oh, never.
Kind of
No.
a cool word to say, decoupage.
I talked to the first, and we didn't have to fight. I was like, "Look, Paj."
Don't make me. I don't like the roadside
But
memorial. Definitely not.
Getting back to today, so they're leaving shit at the Apple stores.
Yeah, now they're leaving their little tributes over there. I'm sure if you went down to the Apple store, you'd see that. Flowers and stuff. And I'm sure Steve Jobs is very thankful, that happened. He doesn't know. He's in a freezer somewhere.
Well, you never know, Ant. Who
What?
are you to say?
I don't
Maybe
think
he
so.
does know.
I don't think
That's
he does.
what people tell me all the time.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he does know.
Steve Jobs is everywhere.
Don't you just hate how they
Looking
want to be
down on
married
you.
to it, though? You're right. They want to just be connected and married to the
Connected in some
tragedy.
way.
People-
Is that right by the Apple store today?
Huh?
A few flowers.
Well, if you're gonna leave flowers, let's leave some fucking flowers.
I guess that was early on.
Oh, okay, because there's only 4 out front there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paper mache, yeah. No, you can't do paper mache. That shit will get all really
that's
soft in the rain.
Soft.
That'll
forget
break
about it.
down, man. But not a good decoupage.
Now with $8 billion in worth.
8.3. Let's not
Yeah.
blow off the 0.3 because the 0.3 any of us
0.3.
can live off.
Oh my God,
What is 0.3? Is that 300 million?
that's 300 million.
So let's not blow
Just
off
the 0.3.
Let's not blow off the 0.3.
No, we shouldn't blow off the 0.3.
Holy-
$8.3
I'll take the 0.3.
billion dollars. What do you think he does? Does he pull a Ted Williams? Does he pull a Disney? Disney was a rumor. He's not really frozen.
If I was lucky enough to be worth 8.3,
yeah.
I would insist that it's piled up into a big, huge, just a huge pile and burned at my wake.
Wow. That would be selfish.
How great would that be?
That would be a good one. Just burn me in it like a Viking.
As my family's just kind of,
Looking
sitting
on,
there.
going, waiting for an ember to blow 100 up that's still good so you could grab it.
Just losing their minds.
Has there been any
I would assume-
talk of plans? Is he going to freeze himself? Is he going to cremate?
Well, I would assume a couple things, Anthony. If he survived pancreatic cancer for 8 years, I would assume, first of all, they're chopping off his head right now to
Yeah.
freeze it. Mm-hmm. Got to freeze the Steve Jobs head because he
That's
has
a
that
head,
type
yeah.
of money.
It's a head you got to freeze.
Got to freeze the Steve Jobs head, and I would assume most of his money would go to charity.
Why freeze the head, though? Because by the time he came back, if they figured it out, computers would have passed him anyway. So, like, if he came back in 15 years,
Oh, he'd be an idiot.
we'd be like, "Shut up," because
Who
he'd
are
be
you?
saying things like, "We're going to revolute." What do you want? We just snap, and there's music playing in our ears.
Right.
Just everything's moving so quickly.
I hope some of these head people get to come back. It'd be hilarious to see
Yeah.
him walking around town.
Yeah.
I've heard tell that the frozen head thing really doesn't.
Yeah.
They really are going to have to come up with some very cool technology to fix that because.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you have to count on like some kid to keep everything running properly.
Running properly, and
They
from what I
forget, and
hear,
the air conditioner goes off for a weekend and fucks up everything.
yeah, and actually, from what I hear, even if this stuff works properly, your head just kind of fucking like falls apart in there. It's just, it's not like they'd pull your pristine head out that looked like it did when you died,
Right.
and stitch it on someone's body or something. I think they're trying to like save the brain or some cells from the brain, and so in some way they can maybe clone it. I don't know.
He said, well, we don't have to freeze his whole body. We can freeze his head.
Yeah, Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, that's right.
Ted Williams.
He
head.
said, well, we don't have to freeze his whole body. We can freeze his head.
Can you imagine? You go, all right, man. This person in my family was so important. We're gonna do this, and then you got to watch as they're sawing your fucking loved one's head off.
You think they let the family in for that procedure?
I don't know.
Let's sit around and watch as they chop his fucking head off.
Right.
I don't think so. But yeah, that.
Oh, they're showing Twitter, said someone wrote, R.I.P. Steve Jobs. I said.
Oh.
I said.
Yeah, they're doing I said, and everyone's doing
Was
the.
that a Penn Oswald?
He said yes. He said, rest in peace, Steve Jobs. Closest thing we had to Tony Stark. I'm not sure what that reference is.
Who's Tony Stark?
Oh, Iron Man. Okay.
Iron Man.
Oh, duh.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
I was thinking
Of
like
course.
kind of a Edison kind of a thing.
Yeah, he's
a thinker,
he's our
someone
Edison.
that. He's like our Thomas Edison kind
And
of a guy.
everyone making the iCloud joke out there today.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's in the iCloud or the iClouds or the fucking, yeah. Very hard to diagnose.
Yeah, great.
Oh, wow. Okay. More about roadside memorials. We got Mike, who used to be a cop. Mikey.
Dude.
What's up, guys?
Hey, man.
I used to work on a major road in New Jersey, and when there was a lot of fatal accidents, so they used to put the roadside memorials up, and people used to looky-loos that would drive by and then get in other accidents looking at them. So they weren't allowed out there, so we would just rip them out. So you'd see a family putting it there, drive by, the next loop, come back, throw it in the trunk of the car, and toss it in the dumpster. So we just had dumpsters full of these roadside memorials. So these people put it out there thinking it was going to be there forever, and it was about 15 minutes.
Then why do some last, man? You see one here and there on the LIE or the Northern State Parkway.
Yeah.
Going local for the people
Their
here.
policy.
Yeah.
Certain roads you'll never see them on.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes, some of them let them be out there, but we never did.
Hate them.
Yeah, I understand your mourning, but that just bums everyone out.
A white bicycle. Did you ever see that one? I saw that. My ex used to live in Brooklyn, and on the corner there was a spray painted pure white bicycle. It was a memorial for someone who got.
All right, what does that mean? Because I saw one in a different place.
It must mean they were killed on a bike there.
The cut through. If you're cutting through Central Park in your car, obviously to get to the east side, there is a white bicycle. It's been there for years.
Really?
So does that mean someone was killed there?
I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I mean...
And I've always wondered, why has this bike survived? Why didn't the city just take it away?
They're called ghost bikes.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck,
They're
I didn't know this.
Yeah, somber memorials for bicyclists who are killed or hit on the street.
Oh, those are nothing to laugh at, Daniel. I once have heard the tinkling of a bell, and it was a ghost spike. Nobody else heard it.
We're getting a lot of quick info today.
Ghost spikes.
We're getting a lot of quick info today.
Oh, isn't it amazing?
It's like flawless. Ghost bike. I did not know that.
Ghosts.
I had no idea. Yeah, there's one in the Central Park cut through.
Ghost ride the bike. Ghost ride the whip. Remember that trend?
Yeah.
I think we lost a few during that whole thing. Dummies running themselves over. A Ghost Ride the Whip memorial. Yeah, dunce. Oh, God.
All right, well.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry about
Steve
the
Jobs dead.
He changed our lives, blah, blah, blah. Music in our pocket, blah, blah, blah.
Steve Jobs dead. Like when they do that on the news.
At the age of 56.
56.
And then we have to look at the black screen for 15 seconds.
They put a picture on with the, born and died date and just silence.
Yeah.
And then goes to a fucking loud yelling guy. $500! I'll give you $500! What happened? It was a memorial.
I always
you prick.
I always found that funny too, man. What? What are you doing?
It doesn't work unless you have a good follow-up commercial.
But they have to dramatically have
somber.
that black screen for a few seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Steve Jobs gone, but more importantly, Yankees are playing tonight.
Oh, today's the day, huh?
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
Hey, wait. Well,
Gotta go Tigers.
All right.
Gotta go Tigers.
I don't mind you picking the Tigers.
Gotta go Tigers. Detroit's having a
mind
good
that.
sports year right now.
I don't mind that.
You got the Lions 4-0, and you got the Tigers one game away from taking the Yankees out.
Well, they're also a game away from being
Going
taken
home.
out.
No, I don't.
In the
I don't-
stadium?
No, I don't. Are you going?
No, they're playing in the stadium. I wish, but it's not like this company runs Major League Baseball on the platform. That's right, they do. Yeah,
And if you do ask for a ticket, it's going to cost you.
would be nice to go. I'm just hoping
And
they
I know-
make it through this.
And people will yell and scream now because they can't let anything go. But the fact is, yes, Anthony could afford the ticket. It's the
course I can.
principle of the fucking thing that bothers us.
Yeah, I don't even. I want to pay. I don't care. I'll pay the fucking thing. I just want to go to the goddamn game.
But what bothered you last time was you thought they were taking care of you because you work here, and then they give you a fucking bill for your
The
tickets.
bill was funny, yeah. That was kind of a printed up bill. It wasn't even like somebody going, dude, yeah, we got the tickets. It was, kind of a hassle to get. And I would just go, yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like the impersonal sending of a bill. What are you billing me? What are you, a fucking.
Who did you have to make the check out to?
Oh, I haven't paid that fucking thing.
Yeah, what I'm saying, but if you did, who would you
I
have
know.
had to have paid it to?
I wouldn't even know who I would have to make a check
you
out
don't
to.
think you paid that? Do you
Oh,
look,
believe me,
Do you look at your statements closely?
I've paid.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just took it out.
Just took it right out.
It's probably something in the bylaw where they just take it out after a while.
Yeah. I'd like to go. Well, we'll see what happens if the Yankees pull it off there tonight. I'm going to give them ample time to come up with some tickies. I know that's kind of short notice, but I'll give them some ample time and say, look, I want to go to the game.
You do, right?
Yeah, who doesn't? Yankee fan wants to go to the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think the stadium will be rocking tonight?
It certainly will.
Yeah.
Opie, the crowd, a huge part of these playoff games. If you could, the Yankees were able to quiet down that crowd there in Detroit, the last game they played. And taking that crowd out of it, oh, boy, that's fun. But when that crowd's into it, holy shit, especially a Yankee Stadium crowd, it's just, it's magical.
I'll be
Bunch of
watching.
these jadruls.
This could be the first baseball game I watch from beginning to end.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll watch. Fucking Game
Watch.
5, playoff baseball.
I know.
Nice.
Yeah, you got
Well, what
it.
is it going to take? About 5 hours?
6-7 hours, depending on. Yeah, I know.
How long are they taking these days?
They've had some normal games here against Detroit. It hasn't been crazy.
When we were growing up, they never went more than 2 hours, right?
2, really? I don't remember if it was 2.
I
just seem to always remember my grandfather sitting in that goddamn chair watching the Mets from the time I got there until the time we left.
So you-
goddamn Mets.
now the time of a game has drastically
Oh, it's increased. Yeah,
increased since we were younger.
Well, because you got
I'm trying to
20
remember-
pitching changes, and they go to commercial for everything.
But I would love to know if there's some kind of stat out there. The average baseball game, let's call it 25 years ago. 25 years ago and what it is today. And I
Yeah.
bet you it's at least an hour more now. At least.
Oh, I would think at least an hour. You're right.
At least an hour more.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
same exact game, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't understand the logic of, starting these games, kind of late or allowing them to end late, I should say. Don't you just lose audience naturally?
I would think you would, of course. A lot of people, fall asleep and wake up and go, they pick up their iPhone or something and click and go, did they pull it off? Did they hold the son of a bitch?
Yeah, that's what Steve Jobs gave us, though, right there.
Yes, the ability
To see if our team won
to do that.
the night before.
Just saying it'll affect the entire industry because a lot of people were always playing catch up with Apple and all their innovations that would come out. The iPhone killer. Every time a company comes up with an iPhone killer, it's a copy of an iPhone that's just not quite as good.
You're looking at it right here.
Which one's that?
The Droid, man. iPhone killer.
But he wasn't the tech
Got it
guy
right
anyway.
in my hand.
No, that's
He
just
wasn't the
it.
one designing the stuff.
He's not, but he was the guy that spurred the atmosphere that allowed the innovations. He did oversee a lot of stuff. He was an idea
Right.
guy. Mm-hmm. How that affects the company, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if Apple, comes out and the CEO comes out on stage and pulls something out of a fucking wooden box. Not Steve, just pulls a product out. It's got tubes in it.
Imagine.
And here's the newest Apple product. It wheels out an ENIAC computer, size of a freight train. They just guy completely drops the ball.
It's the iRecord. It's how you carry 40 records in a backpack and listen to them.
They just completely drop the ball and can't fucking figure out how to go ahead.
The next
they go
iPhone,
retro.
The next iPhone just weighs 20 pounds.
Yes, it's the iTrolla, we call it. It's a cranking mechanism with a record.
Oh, how funny would that be? That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want some answers about baseball lengths?
Yeah, just to finish Ant's
sorry.
point really fast. No worries. But all they have to do is come out with that next amazing thing, and then they move on from Steve Jobs. Simple
And
as
then
that.
Steve who?
You think it goes to Steve who eventually?
That's like Steve who? What? It's got to. Everything does.
All right, so we got the average baseball game.
Yeah, because let's see, in the 2000 season, the average length of a game was 258. So Major League officials
Minutes?
says. What's that? 2 hours 58 minutes. Officials thought that was too long,
Just
and so
2 minutes,
over
58 seconds.
It's very quick.
It's a very fast.
Strike home run, oh, you're out.
like that Bugs Bunny cartoon. 1, 2, 3, strike out.
1, 2, 3, strike out.
But then it went down to 252, 246, went back up to 250. But the interesting thing here is in the 70s, the average game length was 2.5 hours.
Oh,
so
really?
it's a solid 20 minutes longer these days.
God, it seems
20
a
minutes.
lot longer.
You
Though.
would think it would be longer.
I guess maybe because the playoffs are definitely a lot longer, right?
And also the pitching changes are more than they were used to be back
the
then.
pitching changes.
Lefty
It's crazy
specialist,
now.
righty specialist.
Right.
You didn't have as much. You'd have one guy going out, coming in for one guy.
I love when they bring a guy out for one pitch.
But I would have thought the average would have been more
Longer.
than 20 minutes.
A little more
30
than 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Commercials.
Huh?
Extra commercials, extra sponsorships.
Yeah, that's part of the reason as well.
Yeah, of course, the Jeep brand Cherokee bullpen call.
Oh, I know. I hate
Oh,
when they
it's
sponsor
fucking
everything.
Yeah.
That.
Doesn't that take away from
whores.
Yes.
the effectiveness of your advertising?
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
It's a Canon foul ball.
Oh, it's the AT&T call to the bullpen. It's like, really?
When they're incorporating it into the game, I hate it. Like, I don't care where the signs are or how many commercials you run, but when they're calling it the AT&T call to the bullpen,
Call
it's
to
like,
the
you fucking
bullpen.
whores.
When you see-
should have called, get dropped.
When you see an old baseball clip and see no advertising, isn't that so weird
None.
now?
I know. You watch like ESPN Classic and you watch a game and there's nothing up on the walls.
Right.
No fucking sign of a Nike swoosh anywhere.
So strange.
It is weird, man.
Now, man, every space that you're going to see on TV, they got to try to figure out what they can put there.
And that one camera behind the fucking pitcher from the outfield. It's just shaky and you can't see shit, blurry.
I don't know, though. I mean, we only had, 2 or 3 fucking camera angles when we were growing up.
Although people would watch it and go like, oh, that's a beautiful picture.
Right.
Is that it?
Something like that.
Something like that. I listened to that earlier
Something like that.
on the way in. I was just laughing about the beautiful picture.
That's going to be around for a while, huh?
Oh, did I just go on a fucking blocking rampage yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, did I go on a blocking fucking rampage?
Taking out villages.
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people. They're just idiots. And, giving me shit. I don't need your shit. What am I? Me and Danny are good friends. And what am I supposed to do, though? Sit here and reprimand Danny? That's what they wanted me to do. Anthony's a pussy. He doesn't step in there and say something to Danny. It's like, Danny and Mars are having a fucking argument about something. What business is it of mine anyway?
When you went over and rubbed his back, that was a little much.
All right, I understand that might have looked a little, partial. But no, so anybody that was saying that was getting fucking the shit blocked out of them.
I think people that write that stuff don't understand fights in general, because when you do jump in on a fight like that, that looks bad too.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump in.
Like your guy can't handle himself or something.
And then and then just because I laughed at that whole thing with that beautiful picture,
That's funny.
Because the whole thing's fucking hilarious.
in the end,
It's a
we-
good picture. It was a good picture.
In the end, we had to throw.
It's a good picture.
In the end, we had to throw a little humor in there.
It's fucking funny.
Sure.
God
sure.
damn.
It did make me chuckle because I did see a few people had messaged me saying that they had turned on their TVs and said it. So it did make me laugh throughout the day.
it's good. That's funny. And then I was just blocking the fuck out of people. And here's a prime example. Somebody retweeted Dumbbell Bobo, this dummy, and then said, "Hey, don't you realize at Anthony Cumia blocked you and can't hear you beg for you to be unblocked by him?" And I was like, "Really? Really? How about now you're blocked, motherfucker, for retweeting stupid fucking Bobo and my name in there." And then anyone that put Bobo and my name in there, I was just blocked. First I report for spam. Patrice was telling me that. It's great. Report him for spam and then block the shit out of him. I've had it.
Why report it for spam?
Because they're fucking
Just
assholes
make
and
it- yeah.
hopefully it causes problems. I don't know.
I said it last week. I've been blocking Bobos for a long time now. Don't put me in with the Bobo tweets. I don't give a fuck. He's a little side piece of this radio show that we put on every once in a while, and that's it. And that's all it'll ever be. So stop.
I got to add this part in. It's not so much that I fucking hate Bobo. I don't care.
I don't care either.
I don't care either way.
Right.
I'm tired of reading the shit. You know, it goes by and you see that. So I blocked him. I blocked that Radio Bobo shit. That's blocked. I don't have to see that anymore. But then I got to see people retweet his shit with my name in it.
Right.
And then another guy just made a fake retweet of mine about Bobo.
Right.
He goes, RT, Anthony Cumia, and then writes like, I'm so pissed off at Bobo for going on some other show. It's like, really, idiot? You're going to make it look like I retweeted something? Bye. Now you're blocked too. Oh, I was blocking like a maniac. It was great.
Yeah, it's not about the numbers.
No, I give a shit.
I think when you first hit Twitter, you think numbers, and then after a while, you're like, it's not about the
I
numbers.
could give a shit.
It's about having fun and just keeping it light.
Give me 5 good fucking funny people. That's all I need.
There you go. Yeah, I blocked Bobo. I almost started blocking Chips, but gave him a pardon.
A lot of guys block Chips.
I blocked
the
Chips.
The Chips make me laugh. Fucking, I laugh, and I'd say 70% of the Chip tweets make because they're so.
Well, I blocked the 30.
They make me
Aren't
laugh
fucking
so
funny.
hard because it's I guess Steve Jobs. That's won't be going to work tomorrow. They just make me laugh, and it's the only time I block people. I don't even block people who don't like me. Once in a while, I blocked a few last night because I had this Twitter
I don't think
thing.
I ever block people that don't like me.
No, but I mean,
it's always somebody that annoys me with something.
If they say a particularly cunty thing,
Yeah.
I'll block them. But I try not to. But once in a while, it feels really good to block them.
I have no doubt in my mind that I've never blocked a true fan.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't think so.
I have no doubt in my
Not me.
mind I've never blocked a true fan of this radio show.
I don't know. Sometimes fans can say things they think are funny, or they think are in the tone
Yeah,
of
I
how we
understand.
talk, and they.
Yeah.
I think fans sometimes just are dumb too. They don't realize.
Well,
they're being
I sit
annoying.
back and think about it, and I look at their timeline and stuff like that. I really take it
Yeah,
pretty
you look
seriously.
at what else they've been tweeting.
I really don't believe I've ever blocked a real fan of the radio show, or of myself, I guess, because it's my Twitter.
That's why
You know
I don't
what mean?
unblock. That's why I don't unblock.
Right.
When people go, dude, I don't even know why you blocked me and stuff. It's like, I don't either. I don't remember your fucking name. I don't remember what you said. But the sheer reason that you're blocked is because you did something that fucking annoyed me. There. Goodbye. Make up a new name. Get another 10 followers. That shouldn't be hard.
Right.
And I'm done with that.
I've had
fucking-
fights with people on Twitter, but I know in the end they're fans. You know what I mean? I just know.
Yeah.
We've been at this a long time. You know the difference.
I
You just
unblocked
know
it.
the difference.
I don't block willy-nilly. I mean, you
Hell
got. I
fucking-
love willy-nilly. Willy-nilly.
Hell fucking
I don't
no.
block willy-nilly. But when I do, it's for a reason. Fucking idiots.
I unblocked somebody because he wrote me a Facebook message because something he wrote annoyed me. He didn't offend me, just annoyed me. And I was like, and then I saw that he was a part-time comic, and I was kind of annoyed. I'm like, fuck him, and I blocked him. And then he Facebooked me. We went back and forth a little bit, but then I saw what he was saying, and it was like, all right. But we chatted it out a little bit. He wasn't being a dick. He was just,
Right.
and I unblocked him. It's like once in a while, if someone makes sense, you're like, all right, I don't want to be a fucking asshole about it. And,
Right.
I don't know. I'm one of the. I have no mercy. Once they're blocked,
You're tough, man.
Once they're blocked, that's it. Goodbye. Death sentence. No appeals.
No appeals, huh?
No appeals.
No Obie Anthony's in your future.
Obie Anthony.
Good old Obie Anthony.
Who saw that guy coming? What
Man
the fuck
named
is that?
Obie Anthony released 17 years after being wrongfully convicted of murder.
wasn't
Now,
even there.
was
Wasn't even
he-
there when it happened.
Really?
It wasn't even there. They relied
How do we
on
know that?
Because the guy who gave the phony testimony was a pimp, and he recanted it.
Did he?
Yeah, they gave this guy life in prison without parole on the fucking testimony of a pimp. There might have been more to it.
I don't.
But he wasn't there.
I don't like when people recant their testimony to let somebody out. I don't buy it a lot of times. I don't know.
They might have got him. Maybe they had the guy on something else. Maybe they
Yeah,
had the,
maybe they. And look at him.
Huh?
Hey, he looks so happy there.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
That's why the death penalty is fucked up, though. Because if you go to jail for all those years and you didn't do it, man, it's like fucking...
Yeah, but you got 20 years to prove you're fucking innocent.
I know, but still, there's times in Texas where they don't want to accept the new evidence because prosecutors don't want to look like they made a mistake.
Yeah.
And they have like a window, and if you're after the window, they don't have to accept the evidence. Or the Supreme Court may not want to hear the evidence. And I'm
Yeah.
not talking about scumbags trying to use legal
Or
tricks. I mean innocent
Troy
people.
Davis.
I don't know enough about his... I don't know if he was innocent or not. I don't think he's a great
Yeah.
guy, obviously.
Guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead.
He was an asshole, right?
That's right.
Past tense.
Never liked that guy.
It's like Mumia. I don't think Mumia's a great guy either. I do think there was problems with his trial, but I still think he did it.
I said they should fucking kill that motherfucker
Well, they
too.
probably will.
Please. And there'll be more assholes protesting outside.
Beastie Boys.
Got to get into that too. The whole protester thing.
They love, telling you, white performers love articulate black guys. Like,
Yeah.
those are the guys they latch onto. Is any guy who's got like jail dreads and glasses they think
Yeah.
is brilliant. And the white people can just relate to him more,
Yeah.
regardless of how obvious it is. Like, I read about Mumia, and I don't know all the details, but I remember thinking he did do it, but his trial was a little fucked up. But they're acting like he's this innocent guy, and I just don't think he's an innocent guy.
First of all, he's not a hot white chick, so let him rot in prison. Yeah, hot white chicks, they're always innocent
Always?
in my book.
Oh, and
Yep, that's true. Gotta love them. Yeah, we got to talk about the protests.
Can we,
too, because
Can we do it after breakfast?
yeah, we'll eat something.
Because
But
it's ramping up, man. Occupy Wall Street is ramping up.
it's ramping up, and I'll
You got some thoughts.
and I got some thoughts on why, and I got some thoughts on the NYPD.
Okay.
And the mayor, the police commissioner. I got some thoughts here.
Got
Stand
some thoughts.
strong, protesters. Just don't fuck with the cops. That's all. I don't want to see the cops get fucked with.
Here to the protesters
Stand
now?
strong.
Yeah.
It's their end game. There's no end game. The fuck is supposed to happen?
They're organized.
Man, we're out here, man. Here are our demands, man.
Save your mans for after the break.
Yeah.
There's no end game.
Well,
I want
don't know
those
about that.
executives dragged out by their feet.
Yeah, exactly. What's gonna happen?
Just don't fuck with the cops. That's all I say.
Oh well, that ain't gonna happen either.
Well, I don't
We
like
had
that.
a little shindig last night with the police. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after.
Play some William Shatner.
Eat.
Oh, you want to do some Shatner
Yeah,
in a
I
break?
would love to because he's coming in today. He's got a CD out.
Mr. Shatner's coming in at
9:30.
9:30.
I call him Bill because I've known him long enough. I like calling him Bill Shatner because whenever I see his friends, especially when it was like when he'd do like Mike Douglas or something, and he'd sit down and there were other people on, they'd be like, "Yeah, I remember, me and Bill Shatner, we were out," and I was like, "God, he calls him Bill Shatner. That's the coolest thing." Because it's William Shatner, but if you call him Bill, you're his friend. So now when he sits down and I get to say, "Hey, Bill."
Right.
Bill Shatner's here.
Right.
It makes me feel like I'm one of the guys.
One of the guys?
sitting on the couch.
We'll say hi, Bill.
Yeah.
You want me to give you some
Iron
choices
Man.
here? We're not doing Iron Man. That's hack.
No, it's good. I actually haven't.
You want Iron Man?
I haven't heard it. I've only seen bits of the video, and I'm trying to get him on my Boneyard show, but I just don't know if there's a good enough tie-in. Probably not.
He also does Space Cowboy by Steve Miller.
And
A lot of
I'm
space
a
songs.
Major
space
Tom.
Rocket Man.
Cowboy.
Do you know what? I didn't even realize that. You're right. They're all space songs.
Space songs.
I didn't catch that.
Spirit in
yeah.
the Sky, Walking on the Moon, Bohemian Rhapsody. This would be a great space greatest hits CD. Unfortunately, William Shatner's ruining half these
Oh,
fucking
man.
songs. Enough with this crap. It was fun for a while.
I don't think he'd appreciate hearing that, Opie.
Sorry.
Be nice to Bill Shatner.
You want Iron Man?
We can
Zach
play,
Wilde's on this, brother.
Yes, he is. We could also play
Let's do
Rocket Man, whatever you want.
Now, Rocket Man, we all know, right, Ant?
Yeah, unless
was-
he
that was
did a
his
new
one of-
version.
One of his more famous songs.
Oh, did he do that already?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he did.
many years ago.
I'm a rocket man.
Because I'm a rocket man. That's what he'd say.
Oh, is he kind of
It's like
talks with him?
spoken word thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's do Iron Man. The great William Shatner, the very funny William Shatner, the very sharp William Shatner.
Very old.
He doesn't feel or look
No, he really
old, though,
doesn't.
man. You know. He'll be in at 9:30. Wow, Iron Man's a really long song.
How long is it?
6.5 fucking
fuck.
minutes.
Oh, he did
That's
it full time?
Rocket Man. Look, he's smoking a cigarette.
That's a little long.
Yeah, let's.
Oh,
shorter.
that is classic. That was 1978. He's on a show. He's just single spotlight. He's smoking a cigarette.
So much. I miss my wife.
Do you?
It's lonely out in space on such a tight.
Ah, goddamn.
And I think it's going to be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me back again to find out
Music has no.
not the man they think I am back home.
Why does he sing it?
No, no.
This is
I'm
his
a
thing.
rocket man.
The Rocket Man.
Rocket man.
Rocket Man. So that's from
Holy
a long time
shit.
ago. What? How long ago is that? 78.
Wow.
And now from
Oh,
his.
and then he comes out from behind himself.
To touchdown, bring me round again and find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no.
I'm a rocket man. Rocket man.
Oh, shit.
So I would assume he's doing the same treatment to Iron Man here. So why don't we take a look at this? We'll see how much we play of it because it's long. Maybe we play the whole thing. We'll see.
play-
We'll see how it goes.
busy at the
Okay.
end.
Poor audience.
And we'll take your phone calls about the Occupy Wall Street thing. And Ant's got his thoughts.
And the other news is Steve Jobs fucking overrode, which is kind of irritating. The big story that Steve Jobs' death.
Yeah. I'm not asking.
November-
No. I'm
Me
not-
to Stretch Factory.
You needed to me to say.
I thought I had everybody. November 3, 4, 5.
Stress Factory?
Yes.
Fuck, that's awesome.
So I'm shooting something. I'm shooting another hour. It looks like in March. I have not announced where, so I'm warming up for that.
Is it going to be with a little company called H?
No. I'm shooting it with a production company so I can put it wherever I want, which is what I want to do.
Fuck.
It's the way everybody does it now.
Yeah, I know Bill Burr did it that way. and a
Louis,
few
everybody.
others.
It's the way to do it.
All right, right on. Okay, here we go. William Shatner, Iron Man. crazy. He has a lot to say. Then we're learning William Shatner has written 30 books. That's not normal.
He has a book called Shatner Rules, which he's promoting.
Yep.
And I wish I would have put more, because we had Duff yesterday, so I read his instead of Shatner's. Because Shatner's is just kind of humorous. And it's fucking great, man. He's a funny dude. William Shatner's a really funny guy.
Oh, he's been great on our show over the years. Speaking of funny dudes, I forgot to mention that Jim Jeffries will be in today.
What?
And John Ratzenberger.
Tomorrow. Ratzenberger's tomorrow.
Who is he?
He was from Cheers.
That's Cliff
Oh,
Clavin.
Cliff is coming in.
Yeah.
Clavin.
That's
I don't
tomorrow, though.
acknowledge him as John. It's Cliff.
Right, Danny? That's tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, it is. It is. I just didn't recognize the name. It's Cliff.
I'm gonna, as soon as he walks in, I'm gonna go, where's your mailbag? What are you delivering the letters?
And then E-Rock has to tell me Toy Story 2 as well. I was going to
Yes.
say 2. Yeah, but I don't acknowledge those guys. They're
Made
just
some-
voices to me.
Yeah, boy, those voices, they made some bucks.
Pixar, right? Wasn't that a Steve Jobs
Yep.
thing too?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, guy was all up in that shit, too, yo.
Yeah, we're mourning the passing of Steve Jobs today on our show at the age
How
of
are you
56.
mourning the passing?
Well,
What are you doing to
Well, I was just in the
commemorate?
bathroom with Jim Norton, and he's very bothered by the fact that Steve Jobs is dead at the age of 56.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
said it's going to bug him for a month.
It's gonna bug me for a month because he had everything. He was the most respected tech guy on the planet. He's worth $8 billion. He can afford any, and nothing fucking meant anything. It's all irrelevant that he couldn't stop that. It's frightening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
old-
try to eat healthy, you try to do this and that, but if you get cancer of the pancreas, you're fucking cooked.
Too
End of story.
But maybe he
All of
wasn't
the
eating
dice.
healthy.
Maybe not, but I mean, still, with 8.3 billion, you figure you could, whatever is wrong, you could fix it.
Maybe he had isotopes for breakfast.
He went-
They paint chips.
Yeah,
We're assuming a lot. Maybe he just he thought, nothing could touch me.
yeah, he did go through a little chubby phase, didn't he?
He did. That could have started some shit going
never
on. Fucking Kevin Cronin is 60 today.
Who's that?
Really?
What the
From
fuck?
REO Speedwagon.
All the like rock groups we kind of grew up with, they're all now in their 60s.
They're all oldies.
REO Speedwagon?
Yeah.
It's a little late in the world for
You think? I tuned in and watched that the documentary Old Puddinhead. Actually, it was called George Harrison.
Oh.
I guess HBO's running that, right? That Scorsese did it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't even realize it, but I'm watching it and just thinking this is really well done. I was thinking, wow, a lot of work went into this fucking documentary. And then I was like, oh, fuck, Scorsese did it. Okay.
Putting jokes.
The funny part is to me that, this is what this show is. It was comfortable. Anthony said old Puddinhead, George Harrison, and, we all just went, all right. Nobody thought, that's repulsive. You just said that. Old Puddinhead.
Old Puddinhead.
We're jerks.
That is. We really are just assholes.
We're looking at 2 Steve Jobs pictures,
Yeah.
and cancer makes some people look better.
Yep.
Why? I don't know. You kind of look plump and kind of fun in that one.
Yeah, kind of chubby face in the picture on the right, but
Yeah.
he had some nice cheekbones and
Oof.
a sculptured face there.
Wow, I don't know. That's a little.
It's like Dr. Steve in the top right. Without the,
Without the boredom.
Yeah. Put your music and just carry it around. I had a similar idea, but it was with your books. And you carried a big box of books and read them. It just didn't catch on. I called it I Read. People threw things at me. The MacBook. I said you should make a computer the size of a small book, but make it weigh as much as a regular computer. Jim's really bothered with this impression.
Jesus Christ.
I look at it like Chris does in Maine, Jim Norton. Jobs got cancer in 2003. The $8 billion bought him 8 years at least.
Yeah.
Because he had that type of cancer that
Yeah.
should have knocked him out quick, I'm thinking.
Yeah, but still, you
And he
can't
got a
stop
good
it.
solid 8 years out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because he got shit that me and you will never get if, God forbid, we get that shit.
No.
I believe that. I believe some of the privileged out there get special shit they don't want to give to regular people.
But anybody that believes the Illuminati or all these fucking people that are getting together and doing this and controlling the world, nobody had more juice than Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He fucking was Apple. Nobody had more juice than this guy.
Apple juice.
Yeah, he was all of a sudden a bunch of seeds or something. I'm like, what's he wearing? The Johnny Appleseed hat? But I mean, of all the technological things, he was a hacker. He understood computers. No one, it's like anything they can do at the Bilderberg Group he could find out about.
Yeah.
Nothing. 56, he's dead.
Right.
Couldn't stop it. Where's all the secret technology and secret medical stuff that people have?
Right.
When this fucking genius couldn't stop.
Maybe all those people wanted him dead.
Right, because it's true, they didn't like the 4S.
Yeah, that 4S.
Hey.
That did it. That was the nail in his coffin.
Speaking of the Illuminati, why the fuck are we putting our money in banks at this point? It doesn't make sense. My bank is adding new charges for checking accounts and all sorts of shit.
I know.
For using your debit card.
For
I know
using your
Bank of
debit
America
card,
has been now they're going to start charging people for using their debit card, like
Even at Bank of America's?
Not to withdraw money and stuff like that.
Bank
If
of
you go to
America.
let's say you go to the store,
Fucking piece
and
of
you slide your card, your little Bank of America card, and you even use it as a credit card, debit or credit card. They're going to charge you a fee for that.
What fucking scumbags?
So why do we even have our money in the bank? I'm not getting any fucking interest.
Because it's not real money.
And you can't be
So
robbed
It's just numbers.
that way? You can't be robbed that way, and also you can't lose it in a fire. I mean, honestly, this is why. And it's also, regular money doesn't collect interest when it's in cash, and it stays the same. That's the thinking without investing.
My money's barely making money in the bank.
Do you invested, all right?
Yeah, but that's shitty right now. I might get a storage bin.
Just a big storage bin,
Yeah.
dump the money in there.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
they could guarantee.
Might as well do that.
They're not gonna have a fire anytime soon.
Well, they can't. That's the problem.
You sure?
Yeah. Get a fucking,
A safe?
I want to get a safe just for stuff that I really value, not even with a lock on it, just so it doesn't burn.
I got a safe, and I don't know the combination. I lost the combination. There's stuff in there. I'm fucked.
Did you
in there?
really?
Yeah, I don't know what the combination is. I really don't.
What's in there?
Stuff. I'd rather not say, but there's stuff.
Oh. What, hard drives?
Hard drives and whatnot. And I don't know the combination. It's nailed to the floor. It's like it would be impossible to get out of there.
Wow.
But I got to
that's
get my
kinda-
stuff out of there eventually.
Yeah, you need a safe cracker.
Yeah,
And
maybe
I
some
s-
safe cheese.
I swear to you, I don't even know who to call to get the combination from. It's just one of those things.
Try
that
somebody with a
happen.
hyphenated Spanish name. Fucking 5 minutes to ear next to it.
You get a locksmith. They figure that shit
They'll
out.
figure it out for me.
Yeah.
You'll ruin the safe, mate. Though. They probably have to drill through
Who
it.
cares?
No, they could usually. They're pretty good with like being able to take shit apart. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occupy Wall Street. So the numbers are growing, and they had a big day down there yesterday. That would have been all over the fucking news, but Steve Jobs kind of knocked that to the back page a little bit.
We may have
Conspiracy, man.
firsthand information on this Wall Street protest.
Yeah, there's an intern, I guess, or some, I think he's an intern. I think
Yes,
we got
bless
interns
you.
back, right?
Yes.
But I'm too scared to talk to them because people get in trouble when we talk to interns.
Well,
this
it's not
guy's
so much
running down the hall.
talking. It's
I would like to hear what he has to say about the.
what is this guy?
Huh? He's been to Occupy Wall Street every
That
day.
He
guy?
stayed there last night.
He stayed there last night. He's there every day.
Let's talk to him.
So you got one of the people you hate working for you, sir.
I thought he looked.
If he walks in, he's going to be fought. What?
Why?
Who told you to walk in?
I had asked him
to.
before. I'm like, maybe we'll talk to you. They might-
We'll get to you in a minute, there, sir.
Oh
No, because Ant's got his whole thing here, and then we'll get his point of view.
sure.
It'll be tough to give your point of view if he's.
I thought he
starting
looked
with
like a
his.
filthy fucking hippie. Cocksucker.
This is the youth, man.
People.
This
What?
is the youth.
Oh, shut
There's a
up.
lot of guys like him.
The youth is stupid.
They have their cause too, man.
Let me tell you about
It's their generation.
Their cause.
Yeah.
Like I said before, what's the end game? I know they have their list of demands, which I have read, and it's like this just rambling fucking. It's a rambling list of things that cannot really be achieved without the complete downfall of the nation.
Well-
now if that's what you're gunning for, fine. I'm with it, as long as you got an end game. But so they're going to march around and go from one area to another and get people from unions involved because the union people are just using the fact that the press is there for their own purpose.
Can I answer your first question?
Yeah.
They're not organized yet. There's just a lot of young people out there that are very frustrated. They're not getting jobs.
So what's the jobs? Getting jobs? They're not looking for fucking jobs.
So they are down there and they're starting to organize. They didn't even really know what the end game is, but they're hoping they figure it out.
Organize. So some fucking amazing leadership is going to come out of this, and say, here's what we got to do to get what we want, which is, by the way. I don't know. I have no fucking clue. We want the corruption to stop, and that really? Well, go back fucking 100 years and
well, saying
figure it out.
Saying they want to get rid of capitalism obviously is insane.
It's silly.
We know that.
There's plenty of those idiots.
But there's
down
a lot
there.
of people that are very upset.
Communists, socialists, and fucking just people that are there for the party.
Well, there might be some that are coming from other areas to hook up and stuff, sure. There's a little of that going on.
I don't know what their end game is. And here's the deal. Yeah, they're not organized yet, so they're starting to get organized. There's more people
Well, they're
showing
trying
up.
to. I don't even know if they'll ever get organized, but that's certainly what they're hoping for.
But here's the deal. The fucking city has been very patient and can't just allow this to keep going on. The police have to be given the go-ahead here to really start clearing these fucking people out because they're going to start losing control like they did last night a little bit. There was I heard some head cracking that went on, some macing
last night
that went on. But you know, if the police have to say please and thank you at every step, and Jimmy just talked out his tiny hole.
I get nervous.
If they have to say please and thank you, and fucking everyone gets their camera phone up whenever the cop is trying to keep the crowd.
Yeah, but now the cops
streets.
are lifting up their flips.
Oh yeah, and they got video cameras and stuff.
I saw cops that their whole job is to just film.
Yeah,
Did you see those pictures?
Yeah, just video the whole thing.
Guys that's their whole job down there is to videotape.
They don't want to get fucked.
Right.
Yeah. But it's the police are really going to have to take control and return the city to a point where Lower Manhattan can operate smoothly, because they let it get too far by sitting on their asses. And I'm not talking about the cops. I'm talking about the people that tell the cops what to do. Mm-hmm. When they have a park and they're in the park, man, we're going to do this. You got to bust them up. You can't let them gather around too long.
But here's why I kind of like them. Even though your assessment of them I agree with. And fucking with the cops also makes me sick.
Yeah.
But they're the only people who have struck back or are trying to at these fucking pieces of garbage.
What? But they're lumping everyone in with the pieces of garbage.
But at least they're trying
to
do
in with
something.
That, Jimmy, you're lumped in with the pieces.
At least they're trying to do something. I'm not saying
what's something though. What is it?
I don't know. But they're frustrated. And if I had the guts to do what I would love to do to the people who steal like that, I'd be in prison.
I can't imagine.
At least they're doing something.
I can't imagine graduating from college right now and getting a real fucking job. I can't imagine that at all. And these fucking kids, are in debt. A lot of debt.
In debt. They're fucking going to school. That's what happens.
School is stupid at this point. We've talked about it on our show. The cost of going to college doesn't make sense anymore to most people.
Then fucking go to work. Then fucking get yourself a goddamn trade job or something. What the fuck? Oh, is this kid angry? Look at him.
That's it. We need to bring production back to America.
Uh-huh. All right, I agree with that.
And the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And the fractional banking system. When you invest $100 in a bank, they multiply that by 9 and they send it out 9 different ways. They don't just make money on the initial investment, they make it 9 times the initial investment.
Okay.
That's fake money that they printed out of thin air.
Yeah.
Fiat money. It's a fiat currency. Ones and zeros. 1913, this country died. When we adopted the central bank.
But it was 65.
We got rid of
1865.
We used to be able in 1913 to walk into a bank and redeem our dollars with gold. Can we do that anymore? No. What's the price of gold now? Almost $2,000. It's gone up $600 an ounce this year.
Keep rising.
And it's going to
Yeah.
keep
He's
rising
obviously a Ron Paul
as long
fan.
as we
At least he
have
knows what-
bailouts.
He's screaming about everything.
Quantitative easing, as long as our government keeps spending our money. Every dollar the government takes
Can you pause for
in
1 second?
federal taxation.
Yeah.
All right. But what he's yelling though is not, even whether people don't agree with it or agree with it. At least it's not complete nonsense. At least it's based in look. He has an opinion. He doesn't
At
like
least he's
this.
got an agenda that's 8,000 things long.
But it's, you know what I'm saying? It's,
What does he want?
I don't
I don't
know.
know what he wants. That's just it.
Why
What
does
do
it-
they fucking want?
Why does this bother you so much?
Because it's
it doesn't
fucking,
affect you in the end.
he wants to end the
Nah,
federal,
it does,
Federal
believe me.
Reserve.
But why does it bother you? Seriously.
Because I don't like people that
Stop right there.
Yeah, I don't like people. You're right. You're absolutely right. No, because a lot of these, maybe not him necessarily. He's just, to me, that he's rambling on about problems that are going on in this country. Yes, but what's your answer? What's your fucking answer? What do you want? When will you leave Wall Street being satisfied with something that was then given to you, one of your demands? What is it? What do they want to happen before they go, okay, everyone wrap it up, we won? What do they want? A complete breakdown of the banking system? Wall Street to go away? What do they want?
Well, let's ask the kid. We have a guy that works for us as an
yeah?
intern. That's there every day.
Every ding dong day.
Yeah. What's his name even? Do we know his name? Matt?
And this redistribution of wealth thing, I don't like that. And by the way, the unions are down there supporting this protest. And this guy is talking about bringing jobs back to the United States and making things in this country. How about the fact that the unions are charging so much money in labor that no one could afford to buy American shit anymore?
And that fucking one union, what a union is it? The culinary union is keeping UFC out of New York because they don't like the way something's being done by the people who own UFC in
Exactly.
Vegas. I can't stomach them either.
So it's the unions went down there. They brought the numbers way up. So it looked good. There was a lot more people.
It was a big
down
day.
there.
It was a big day for
But
Wall Street.
what that guy
The
was
Occupy
just
Wall Street.
preaching is completely contradictory to what the unions are fucking asking for. So you got two separate fucking groups down there under the guise that it's we're working
one.
together and we're all one on this thing. But that guy made a lot of sense when he was talking about bringing jobs to back to America, bring innovation back to this country, and keeping the jobs here. But then you got the unions where you got a guy that's turning a wrench for fucking $75 an hour. How much do you think that product is going to cost when it spits out the other end of the factory? It's going to cost so much that no one buys it. The company goes fucking bankrupt because the unions strike and he can't hire his scab labor. And then the job goes, or the guy just goes, hey, fuck you all. I'm going to South America.
That is what's hard about capitalism, though. And I'm not shitting on capitalism, but it is designed where
It's designed for competition, first of all, but you can't compete when the unions are running the companies and saying you have to pay us this much. And then a guy will open up another factory and go, all right, look, hey, I'm not union. I can make this shit for a lot cheaper. And then the union comes and pulls their mob tactics on that guy so he can't do business.
Well, let's say that
Wonderful.
Let's say that they come out and they just want to pay whatever they want to pay. Let's say there's no minimum wage and they want to pay what they want to pay.
Yeah.
All they're going to do is hire laborers who will work for literally $2 an hour, and there are people desperate enough to do that. Then what happens? They will. Like, the problem is companies will never pay. Look what happens in certain situations, like when you don't have the pushback. When is the last time a major company was just fair with you and gave you a little bit of a raise or a little bit of a bump because it's the right thing to do? When's the last time these scumbag airlines fucking took away a fuel charge that they added when the fuel cost was high, then the fuel cost goes down? Not once did they reduce it. So they don't treat us fairly either.
But let me tell you something. The American way that business has worked over the years. If you get a guy that's running a company and he hires $2 an hour workers to make the products so he could sell them and make more profit, or sell them even for cheaper, the American people will be like, wow,
This guy puts out shit because you're not going to get good fucking employees for $2 an hour. Now you get another guy that makes the same product and he hires people at a higher wage and they do a better job. Now they're putting out a better quality product, so people are buying that product. It's not a fucking $75 an hour to turn a wrench guy, but it's not $2 an hour guy either. It's somewhere in the middle where it's a fair price and they're making a good product and the American people are now buying it because it's a good quality product. What's wrong with that? It's called capitalist competition. It's called competition.
Perfect sense. But
Yeah.
I do not think that they will ever be fair with you if they don't have to be.
So mob tactics work better, where a union comes in and extorts the money from the guy that owns the company.
I completely agree that unions have overextended. But the point is, with something like just dealing with the bank, I have a decent amount of money in the bank. I paid my mortgage. I did the right thing.
$20-30?
The amount of almost, I took it out for
I hear you.
friend and address.
Yeah.
But the amount of interest that they charge and the amount of interest they pay, they're fucking executable.
Oh, they're killing
it's
us.
completely unfair.
They're
It's
killing
completely unbalanced. Where's the fairness? Where's the idea of being fair or of doing right? There's none of it. There's none of it. All they understand is absolute violence. It's the only thing they do.
What's
You
the
understand
interest
that?
for a basic savings account now? What are we
it's
down
non-existent.
Dude, I had
What's it down to?
for years. I have a CD.
0.5%.
It was worth
0.5%.
41 grand, and I think I made $200 and something in interest last year or something. I took it out. I told the Bank of America, "You're despicable people."
There's nothing there for.
They don't-
Why?
They don't
Why
care.
is there no, they don't. Of course, they
ridiculous.
don't care. I'm not going to hurt the Bank of America.
No, I know. It's just amazing, though. So you're not. So you're against the unions in general now, Ed, or you? Well,
Yeah,
what?
I really, I'm not a fan.
You start
of
out
these,
as a union guy.
I'm not a fan of these unions that extort money from the companies and force them to either go overseas with their labor or force them out of business.
I agree with you there.
Talk to Matt. He's one of the faces of the Occupy Wall Street
Man, how you
movement.
doing, man?
And he now
Hashtag.
and now he's an intern with the Opie and
Occupy.
Anthony show.
Yes, well, occupy the seat and occupy the mic, and
Thank you.
What's the end game?
Well,
down
first of all,
there?
Matt, how old are you?
24.
And 24. Jesus, and you're interning at 24?
Yeah.
Where'd you graduate from?
I didn't graduate.
All right.
Where are you going to school?
Buffalo.
You want to get into radio?
Shouldn't you be in school now?
Well, I'm down here.
See, down here for the
so
cause.
you left school?
I did. I signed up for a class so I could do this, but that's it.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
So
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
you're,
all in.
Helps. Cool.
So you're down at Wall Street every night?
I have. I've been going every day since Friday. I slept there last night.
He has a good voice, by the way,
Lot of
for
chicks.
fucking radio.
Yeah, you got a
Thank
good
you.
radio,
voice.
Thank you.
Chicks down there. That's why.
Yes, there actually are some.
That's why.
I fingered a hippie chick the other
That's
night.
nice. See,
She, it
that's
was-
fucking
She had
occupy
a
her
very
vagina.
smelly-
Of course she was. She's a hippie,
Oh, of course.
she's a hippie sleeping on fucking Bank Street. Of course she's a fucking pussy smoker.
Nothing wrong with occupying a vagina.
No, there's nothing wrong
You
with
can't
that.
hate everything. What's wrong
Right.
with you? You could understand that.
Oh,
can't
exactly.
You? Okay,
Hashtag
all right.
occupy her mouth with my dick.
There's this one chick that she wears just like blankets, and she goes around just hugging everybody.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
She fat or she
very,
good?
No, she's pretty cute.
Very hippie-ish thing going on
Well,
down
there's
there.
some hippies down
Yeah.
there.
They're
Modern day
good-looking
hippies.
ones, yeah.
Well, that's good. What's the end game down there? I
what
understand
are you
what
seeing
people are
down-
mad at.
What are you seeing down
I
there?
understand what people are mad at. But what needs to happen for everybody to go, well, we can leave now. We won.
There is no end game.
Yeah?
It's I mean, when hippies look at like Woodstock, when hippies go to a place, they tend not to leave.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's going on. But the great thing about this protest is it means something different to everyone that's down there.
Yeah.
Like for some people, people come with the unions and it's about getting better pay and getting better benefits, 4-day work week. Other people, it's about other people, it's about the system, just going against the system, about the Fed. I mean, Anthony, do you know what the Federal Reserve is?
Yeah. It's that bank thing that kind of dictates everything that involves money, and
But-
it's not really a government agency. Either.
Exactly. It's a private. It's
Yeah.
a cartel of private banks.
Yep.
So, do you know where your personal income tax goes? All of your personal income tax goes to paying off interest. The government borrows all of its money from the private banks, which is the Fed. And then all of your income tax, your private income tax, personal income tax, goes to pay off that interest. So it's a big scam, essentially, because the government could just print its own money. But the last two presidents that tried to print their own money, Lincoln and Kennedy, were shot.
Oh.
I don't believe in that tie-in,
Wow.
but the interesting point about the Federal Reserve is, you know, I don't know how right he is, but I don't believe the Kennedy tie-in, unless Oswald did it for that reason.
What's
Maybe
the
Oswald did it.
what's the Kennedy tie-in?
Because Lincoln had a little bit of baggage himself.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that was
Wouldn't wanna lay
supposedly
a
why
shot
they
into
were
that
both
dumb
shot.
hat.
Huh?
Supposedly that's why they were both shot. Lincoln, he tried to print greenbacks, they were called, and it was interest-free money. And Kennedy also had the same idea. And also with Kennedy, there was a plan to supposedly use to instigate a war with Cuba in order to bring the Russians in and have an actual war instead of the Cold War. And Kennedy went against it, and supposedly that's also why he was shot.
Yeah, I've heard that too, where they think he cut a deal with Khrushchev over the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, he did cut a deal about missiles in Turkey,
But I mean
too.
that was the whole.
But that wasn't it.
I don't know if I buy that.
Let me ask you, Matt.
I think it's a lot simpler.
You're,
But
you're 24. Is your friends getting jobs out there? I mean, what's the whole vibe? I don't know. We're
I
way
mean,
older than you.
it's tough. I mean, you go to school, you rack up 60 grand in debt, and as long as the great thing is there's loopholes. So as long as you don't make enough money, you don't actually have to start paying off your loans. But eventually, if you do get a job and you do make money, you got to start paying them off. And the interest, it's usually 6% now for student loans. So you're going to end up paying
Forever.
It's indentured servitude. So basically, it used to be in America, the American dream is you get married, you buy a house. So the house, that's what made you an indentured servant to the system, because you work your whole life to pay off the house. Now it starts earlier. You work your whole life to pay off student loans. And then maybe eventually, if you're lucky enough, you get to buy a house.
Now let me ask you too about the Federal Reserve, because Ron Paul rails about the Federal Reserve, and now that came about what year? In the early 1900s? Was it 1913, like that guy was saying on?
I don't know, but I think so. Yeah.
Around there. And what was the purpose of it? Was it because the country was in such financial trouble, we had to secure money somehow? What was the purpose of it?
The purpose of it was to make money for J.P. Morgan and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. And
What was the purpose that they gave, though? I mean, they wouldn't have said that.
Yeah, they wouldn't just say that's why we're doing it.
We'd like to make a few more dollars. Well, by all means.
Yeah, that's where the conspiracy thing comes into play. What were they telling?
That's not crazy, though. What he said.
I know, but what were they telling the American people back then?
I think they said that that it was necessary because they needed to print more money to stimulate the economy. It's the same thing they do now when after we come out of a recession, they say, oh, we got to print more money. That'll stimulate the economy. And of course, when you print more money, you get more inflation, so it's actually working against itself because then your money's worth less.
So you're down there for the party, but you're also
yeah.
But you got your thoughts
down
together.
there to diddle chicks.
At least he's honest.
He's down there to diddle chicks. Yet if a camera comes up and puts it in his face, he can ramble about something.
But if you're 24, of course you could do both. You could finger a girl and have a cause.
Oh yeah, I got no problem with that.
I'm 43, and I would do the same thing he did, except I'm too lazy to go to Wall Street, and I pay to get jerked off. And I don't know what the Federal Reserve is. There's no difference.
Don't be surprised if you see Jimmy down there if he knows that these chicks are that easy.
If they're not wearing deodorant, I love a chick with good smelling underarms.
No one's wearing deodorant.
Jimmy's gonna paint up his sign, tonight.
Yeah. Hell no, I won't go. Whatever it means.
Yes.
I would howl if I turn on the TV and there's Jim.
Yeah.
Knowing why he's really down there.
Yeah. And the fucking Stretch Factory, November 3, 4, 5 of this year is where it's all happening.
Yelling plugs out.
Yeah. Pittsburgh Improv or death.
What do you say to Anthony that says that you guys don't have an end game and all that?
Well, I think he's right. We
He is
really
right
don't.
about that.
Yeah, it's like,
But see, this, I know.
how does it end?
I just know there's something going on out there that just doesn't seem right. I don't know
last
how
night-
it plays out in the end. I have no fucking idea.
It is starting to escalate. Like last night was different than any other night. There were normally there were maybe 500-600 of us a night. There were thousands last night.
Wait, there's 500 or 600 a night now?
Yeah, staying permanently. But last night during the march, there was 15, maybe 20,000 people at this march from like 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. And then, just at like 11 o'clock midnight, there's still thousands of people hanging out. So NYPD brought in, other nights, maybe they had a couple, like 150 cops. There were probably 600-700 cops surrounding us last night, and they brought in a lot more barricades, and they barricaded off the whole area. So,
and the city is starting to say, we can't afford this.
Yeah,
we can't afford to have our guys down there every day.
And it was escalating last night, where there were some confrontations, like at the home base between.
Matt, can you be honest?
Yes.
The cops in general are being cool, right?
Few of them were being dicks last night. They
sure a few of the protesters were being dicks too.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
are some of the protesters being dicks?
I heard that barricades were being thrown.
That is true. Barricades were knocked over when they marched to Wall Street. But there was a drum circle going on. This goes on every night.
I love a good drum circle.
Oh, it's great.
I hate to admit
nude.
it, 'cause
It's
I know
great.
that bothers
I
you.
hope nude.
Not nude.
I don't like a drum circle.
A nice
I hate
bongo,
to differ.
a nice bongo fucking drum circle. That's all right, man.
It's great. And it just goes on for
They
hours.
set up in Central Park on
Christ.
Sundays, and I've been known to just kind of hang out and check it out.
Really? A bunch of people doing bongos?
Yeah.
I would rather put on a cracker outfit and get jerked off on by 300 people than fucking watch bongos.
They get a nice beat going.
They made some rule, like they made some agreement that at 10 o'clock there's no more music allowed, and a lot of people didn't know this. So as soon as the clock struck 10, and the drum circle was going on, a lieutenant or whatever, with his white uniform and his hat, he came in with his megaphone. He said, I'm da-da-da from NYPD. This is unnecessary and excessive noise. You guys got to stop. This is your one warning. Of course, I was, fuck you, man. Fuck the police, da-da-da. And we were all like, shut up, shut the fuck up. And then he's like, all right, this is your last warning. And the next person to play the drum is getting arrested, right? So they walk away. There's this guy in a wheelchair. And he has literally no arms. He has like little hooks for arms. He's like a little cripple, right? And this guy, I swear to God,
I'll say he's a lot crippled.
this guy, he takes his hook and he bangs a drum. The lieutenant comes right in, arrests him. They wheel him off.
Good, fair. The guy was being a dick.
And he was warned.
Yeah, you want equal treatment.
He was warned.
The handcuffs just keep sliding off.
Exactly. Put a magnet in his back and he can't move.
I gotta say, Matt's making a good first impression. Yeah, how are you affording to go down there every night?
Well, it's free. I mean,
No, I know, but you got to eat.
Yeah.
Like, the food's free.
and you're not. What?
There's literally like a 24-hour buffet.
Who pays for that?
That rules.
Donations. There's people constantly coming
hilarious.
in,
There are
bringing in food.
There are people
Restaurants
injecting money
around.
now.
People. There's a lot of people donating money. Like they have something like $65,000 already. And the thing is that what concerns me is we don't know who actually is controlling this money. This is the thing. Like,
Of course.
right now
A
it's
little corruption. In
Right,
the whole
it's
thing.
got that
That'd be
potential.
hilarious.
Because right now it's a democracy, and like every night there's a meeting, and there's everyone yells out. It's chaotic, right? People they do
Who
this
runs
thing.
it?
Nobody. That's the thing. Is like
But who started this? Do you even know that?
No one-
Someone
no
on
one
Facebook.
knows.
Was
It's fucking Lord of the Flies.
it really is.
man.
I know,
It's
that's why-
it's wild down there.
hilarious.
I find this really, really fascinating.
Yeah.
I got to
It
be
really
honest
is.
with you.
It's its
I don't know
own-
how this plays out, but
It's its own self-sufficient little community. Like we have unlimited food, we have blankets and sleeping
Where do
bags.
you go,
we
Judy?
have doctors at McDonald's.
They let you shit?
Yeah.
but that's
How
corporation.
long is
That's
the
a corporation.
I know. That's what's so ironic about it.
Yeah, it's a publicly traded company.
McDonald's.
letting you shit.
That's funny.
You know what McDonald's does in this world?
I know.
I know.
That's the only place you can go to the
Right.
bathroom.
They're probably killing protesters and serving them.
Right.
So wait, how long is the fucking shit line at McDonald's?
Sometimes when it's crowded, it's like 20 people. If you're lucky at night, it's like 4 or 5 people. It's not too bad.
You get the shit there?
What about
No, just out of courtesy, you don't shit. Really.
Where do you shit?
I mean,
Fuck
I
that
don't shit
courtesy
down there.
shit. I gotta
I
shit, I
shit
gotta
here
shit.
usually.
I would shit.
Fuck yeah.
We
what,
shit here too from
what-
6 to 10.
What about the locals? They hate you guys.
They, you don't see them much, but I mean, supposedly it's a residential community, so that's why we're supposed to not make a lot of noise after 11. But of course, you know, it's a bunch of young people, so people are up all night drinking, smoking pot, and it's
No flash mobs, though. No fucking real beatings. Maybe a few incidents, but
it's
look how
really-
well certain
it's
people
peaceful,
behave.
I mean,
And what
of
about
course.
the business suit guys? You see them at all? Coming and going?
Yeah, you see them walking by. There's, I mean, there's guys that come through in suits, like they come from work and they come down. It's a lot more diverse than the media portrays it. It's not all white people. It's not all young people. You got a lot of old hippies. You got a lot of people come from work. You got black people. You got people, Europeans that don't even speak English. You got people speaking Spanish. You know, illegal immigrants. So it's pretty diverse. I mean, I guess the majority
cause. Yeah.
Yeah, the majority is white. Hippies, but
where are you getting your money from? I know you're eating for free, and you're sleeping down there every night.
Not every night. Last night was the first.
Would
night.
you just sleep in a sleep bed with no pillow? I need a feather pillows.
No, I
Jimmy
just,
needs a pillow
I
to
saw
protest.
some pictures.
Yeah.
Man. They got
What the fuck is that monster?
Oh no, that was good. Oh, that's that woman that got the face transplant
From who?
that's the face transplant lady.
From
fucking Muggsy.
puppets? Yeah. Exactly. She's a Dick Tracy villain.
They
With
gave
a
her-
white face.
she didn't even look.
They gave her a Yoko Ono face.
That was odd, man.
Yeah, but I mean, do you come from a wealthy family?
Not wealthy. I mean, they're pretty well off. I
How
mean,
do you
like
get- how do
to
you
pay
get-
for this whole Opie and Anthony experience here, I took out a $5,500 loan.
See,
So
that's going to cost you about 12 by the time you pay it
Probably.
back.
But where did you sleep? You slept in a sleeping bag?
Yeah, no, I borrowed some blankets from people, so I just laid out blankets
On the
slept
dirty
one.
ground? I
Yeah,
could never
just-
do
just-
that.
Jimmy, you gotta be a
On the
little.
sidewalk? People are pissing shit
gotta
on
be a
there.
little dirty
I
to
used
be
my
able to go down
backpack
there.
as a pillow.
Oh, I would never be. I would just be awake all night.
And he's more awake than us.
Yeah, I know. You probably had a more restful sleep than I did.
I
after
don't
fucking.
understand this.
What do you think? There's room service and beds, Jimmy? Like
I
fucking
don't.
hotel.
Here's the rule. You want me down there? Fine. Mr. Norton has to have feather pillows.
Right. God, Kenny will call ahead for you.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know what these kids are doing.
Yeah.
Jim, they're fucking. It's dirty.
No bullhorn usage when Mr. Norton's trying to sleep.
And you know he'll just stand over you the whole night, making
Yeah.
sure they comply. Well,
All right, that's.
this is a look into the whole thing from a guy that's down there.
Well, yeah. At least now we got firsthand knowledge of.
And you don't seem like a stupid kid.
Thanks.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's well thought out,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
relaxed, and has some things to say.
Now I want to know
just
more
like
about the Federal
fact that he-
Reserve.
I like the fact that he diddled some chick. Sure.
And I like that he's being honest about the whole thing.
Stink finger.
incredibly smelly.
Is your hairy pussy
She has
No,
to be
no.
just like.
smooth?
Was that last
Yeah.
night?
No, this was Saturday night.
Yeah.
She's got to be a little dirty.
Well, next time
down
you
there,
bring
yeah.
those dirty fingers in here.
That makes me go.
I tried, I fingered her, and then I tried, I was rubbing her hand on my cock, and she got all freaked out, and she was like, I think we're moving a little too quickly.
Oh, really? You had
Quickly.
fingers in her.
Did you kiss her?
Yeah, and she had the weirdest. She kissed she put her chin up and like this, you're
fish?
she literally put her chin up so she would kiss on my top lip, my upper lip. It was the strangest thing.
The fuck is she doing?
Yeah, it was very.
Where's she
strange.
from?
She was from Hartford, and she's like, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I smell. I've been living on the streets for 3 weeks.
Did you get her? Did you get her?
Damn. That's fantastic.
Pussy that hasn't been washed in
3 weeks.
Fucking great.
This kid rocks.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad looking kid, but fuck.
Filthy pussy.
Her fucking asshole opens. It probably sounds like linoleum being rolled out.
What the fuck, man?
Velcro. Yeah.
So did you get her number?
No,
Number.
no.
But wait, how do people charge their cell phones down there?
They have outlets.
Oh, they
Yeah.
where?
I don't know how
I
they
wired
do it,
him
but
into
they have
the
outlets.
fucking power poles.
Yeah, there's a
light
whole
pole.
area of people just sitting on their computers at night, and just so they can go on Twitter and update their YouTubes and shit.
God, but you must get your computer dirty. I would hate to bang my laptop around the sidewalk. I'm not meant for protest.
Jimmy is
No,
not
you're not
meant
meant
for
for that.
this
no,
kind of thing.
I'm
no.
not very fly by the seat of my pants.
No, huh?
I like a gentleman's existence.
Well, this is quite interesting because I don't know how this ends.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Because the police can't just march in and fucking crack skulls and get them out of there.
That's what people
Or
are
if they
speculating,
do,
though.
or if they do, that's that's going to just really get people fucking
Here's the
riled.
two ways it can end.
Okay.
Look, the city's got to run. Here's what you people have to do, or else we are going to have to take measures to clear out this park and the streets. Or I have a feeling
Winter.
when the temperature dips,
Okay, you're right.
people are going to fucking go home.
yeah.
I think that's what they're hoping for.
When it's 10 degrees out, it's going to be a little hard to be, hey,
Rah,
the world
rah, rah.
is for watching us freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pussy's going to be
Yeah.
really cold.
Yeah.
Although people are planning to bring in like radiators and shit. But here's the thing, like about these protests going back to like the 60s and 70s, always a police tactic they do is they put plants in the crowd, right? And so
That's
what?
nice. It's kind of a good feeling. Have a little bit of nature.
Jimmy, no, he means
that be
they
a chip line?
Yeah, so I
Plant
thought I thought
someone.
of doing it as Chip, and I just said no. He's right though.
But
Oh, Chip, Jimmy.
And how is your shirt not wrinkled?
I don't know.
It's very wrinkled.
He's got a collared
Permanent
shirt
press.
on.
Permanent press.
Yeah, go ahead.
So they'll put plants in the crowd and they'll have them say, "Oh, fuck the police," and they'll have them start fights with the police and start throwing shit at the police, and that'll give them an excuse to
Now,
come
how do you
in.
know that they're plants?
Yeah.
You don't see, that's the thing.
But then how do you know that?
We know they're there, but we don't know who is,
But how do you know they are?
How do you know they're not genuine protesters?
because there's always it's
Like, could
just
that
a
be
tactic.
protesters just saying, "Hey, those guys are
Could be an
plants,"
instigator.
to excuse
Absolutely,
bad?
and that's the thing. We
don't know.
can never know.
How would the cops know? Wouldn't they just rack the heads of the plant?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's always been a tactic.
Oh,
Yeah.
it probably has been.
Well, they did that in Egypt, right?
to infiltrate.
Yeah, I think so.
They had some plants in Egypt.
And with like the whole
are
Brooklyn
you guys
Bridge,
looking at Egypt as something to look up to?
Not really. I mean, maybe for some people. I mean, I don't know. It seemed a lot more chaotic than this. Is pretty peaceful, and it's really just a bunch of people hanging out and playing music, and
It really is just a hang.
it really is. It's not
the-
as violent as the Egypt thing, and it's not meant to be. I think it's a lot more productive if it's peaceful, because if it's violent, it's gonna end quickly and badly. Because they have all the guns. We don't.
Yes, yes, we do. Oh,
Someone told me, by the way, that there's 600 million privately owned weapons in the United States.
that's nice, right?
Which, yeah, if there was ever going to be a revolution, it does give you hope.
Well, yeah, that's true. It does well
I mean-
against howitzers and shelling from 5 miles away.
Right.
I think
In
the
the-
government's got.
In
See,
the end, they got the bigger guns.
the
so,
thing
yeah.
is, a true revolution, you need
The
the
army.
military to come over to your
Yeah,
side.
absolutely.
That's why when people say, what are you going to do with your guns? The army's got this. Like, no, when it happens like that, that's when the military comes over and says, yeah, fuck this government, and kind of helps out. That's
Yeah.
a dumb argument. But a lot of guns. People love their guns here in America.
I mean, I guess for a guy like you probably wouldn't have a reason to have to turn against the government unless
No, I
you really
don't.
got to the
No,
point where
I-
society was breaking down.
No, I can't stand how the government taxes the living shit out of me. I don't like that at all. And with no accountability, I don't know where my money's going.
I mean, it's a scam.
Corruption.
It's an absolute scam.
It's being used for shit that I never fucking. My representative is not representing me. I don't know I don't know who the fuck they're representing.
Themselves.
I go through. I want to do something to my house, and I got to go through all kinds of hoops and permits and shit, and pay more money out. And I think to myself, okay, so a representative went to Washington, or a representative went to the local, politicians and said, here's what we have to do. We have to make it very expensive for someone to put up a fence around their yard. It's like, really? Does that represent what the people really wanted? Did the people go, hey, I elected you. By the way, could you charge me a fucking insane amount of money and make it really difficult to build anything on my property? And then you start thinking that and think, they're not representing me.
Right.
They're representing their next gig.
right. Why do you think they do it? It's more money.
Yeah, it's
and less freedom. I mean, if it takes you all this bullshit to just build a fucking fence on your property, then you're gonna be like, hey, fuck it,
Yeah,
and not even do it.
We've talked about it a lot. There's the freedom in this country it's a joke
bullshit.
because you're not
You don't-
free to
you
do
don't-
anything.
You don't own anything.
Go ahead, go hunting.
In the end.
Go hunting.
Right.
And I don't mean go where they say where the permits are and get a permit. I mean just go out on Long Island,
grab a shotgun, and just go hunting. Watch how fast you're locked up.
Right.
Now, that should be a freedom. I don't know. You know.
Fuck that. Yeah.
How about walk, just go...
You're going too far with it because you've had this experience. Try just taking a tree out of your yard.
Yeah.
On your property that you supposedly own because you bought the house and the property, or try putting a fucking pool in.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
You
the
don't
hunting
actually
thing
own it.
is a good analogy,
you don't own
but
shit.
But it's even dumber shit that's going on.
You could buy your house, and then they could completely take it away if you don't pay the taxes on it. And it's like, wait, but I bought the house.
Right.
Yeah, but it's on our property. No, it's mine. I bought it. Nah, not really.
Why is it
So we're
your-
going to tax it, and if you can't pay the taxes, then we're going to take all your shit.
Why is it?
Oh,
why
I
is it
get
you're never done paying? I don't understand that
Yeah.
concept.
Basically, they charge you just to stay alive. I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Hey, Matt, a couple things because I just checked my Twitter. A, are you an Obama guy?
No, absolutely
Were
not.
you ever an Obama guy?
I was. I actually did fall for the trap, and the night he won, I went around with the girl I was with.
Never heard him called
we
traps
We
before.
drove through the ghetto and honked the
Start
horn.
using that
Yeah,
one.
Obama, fuck yeah, and it was all
Then
bullshit.
you got mugged. That would have been hilarious.
Did you get a good-
Obama? Yeah, come here, motherfucker.
Did you get a good fingering in because Obama won?
I'm sure I did. It was-
Kid loves to
Stink
finger.
fingers
Yeah,
again.
he really does. That's why his
call
hand
you
was out the window in the
stink
ghetto. He wasn't waving about Obama's fucking fingers smelled like fucking turtle food.
He's the fingering kid.
Oh, yeah.
Kid. And who would you vote for next?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Not Ron Paul? You sound like a Ron Paul guy.
No, not even Ron Paul. Because I have a feeling with Ron Paul, he's like meant to be the crazy guy on the fringe of the system, but he's still within the system. So if he were to ever get elected, which he would never, ever fucking be elected, they would never let that happen. But even if he was, the things that he says he's going to do would never happen.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
You really can't. I mean, the system's not meant to change.
He's important to get elected, though. I'll tell you why. Because if a guy like Ron Paul gets elected, he is seen on the fringe of the system, but he's seen far enough outside the norm where it would be, hey, this is a possibility.
It would help.
So you
It
think
would help.
you think Congress would just sign off on all this crazy shit?
No, but
So he'd sit there like Obama's sitting there, not able to do anything.
But he's also a very eloquent. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the economy, and he seems the type of guy that is would be very difficult to not act on because he has a great rebuttal for whatever it is you're not doing, and he answers questions very directly.
See, I don't think he'll ever be elected.
You're probably right. He's very old.
The thing is, though,
Doesn't have
is
a shot
the
at
president doesn't actually have the ultimate authority in this
No.
country. That's
No,
what
we
people
don't
don't
believe-
realize.
No, I think
There's
more
a lot of
people starting
people
to realize that.
above the president. There's a guy, Obama's advisor is Zbigniew Brzezinski, and he's a guy who's on the Trilateral Commission and the Council for Foreign Relations. He's one of the elite. He's one of the most powerful people in the world. So Obama's taking his orders from this guy, who's taking his orders from even more powerful people at the
But
very top.
is it taking orders though as an advisor though?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. It's more than that. He's literally a puppet. He's literally an actor, and all presidents are. They have no power themselves.
I kind of believe a lot of that.
I don't think it's so much this kind of mystical little pyramid of people. I think it's a partisan Congress that can't do anything with each other. They're just looking for their next gigs.
Yeah.
They don't want to do anything that the other party brings up, because then when election rolls around, they go, well, look what he did. He was against the party, so don't vote for him.
Well, of course, it's designed to be that way as well. It's supposed to be two sides.
But it was supposed to be a
that-
checks and balance kind of
Right.
thing, but it's just turned into we will never let you get a bill through because it just makes our side look bad.
But that is by design. That's not by accident. It's supposed to be like just all tied up where nothing is ever going to get done. And then you have the illusion that there are two sides, and that next election you have a chance of putting someone else in who's going to change things. But of course, we saw with Obama, it was all bullshit, and it's always going to be all bullshit. So you got to remember, with this next election, whatever any of them say, it's all bullshit.
I think Obama was sincere in wanting to change things. I really believed him just as a guy.
Yeah,
but
I can't even believe that much. I think he was just full of shit, wanted to be president.
Nah, I don't
They
feel
all
that way
are.
about him. I didn't feel he was totally full of shit. I don't feel Jimmy Carter was full of shit. Like
No, Jimmy Carter, I know, was a guy that legitimately cares about people and hoped for the best. And boy, one of the worst presidents we ever have.
Pat
Look how that
Oswalt
ended
raised a
up.
good
He
point.
builds a good house, though, Ant. He
Yes,
builds
he
a
does.
good house.
You can't have someone like that as president.
No, a guy. Patton's point was, and I wish I had thought of it. Was
General?
Yes, actually, about you can't fight in the army if you're a yellow belly.
Yes.
No,
Smack you in the face.
Was that it was that it was the nice guys, the guys who aren't ruthless, don't make effective presidents. You have to be fairly. And Clinton was a Democrat, but he seems like a pretty fucking ruthless guy.
Yeah.
I've heard stories he was a fucking screamer and a relatively.
Well, he was
brutal.
in during the whole Bosnia thing, and the debacle in Somalia.
You can't imagine Clinton being a screamer.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying you can't imagine.
I know somebody involved with one of his organizations, and they said they were walking like there was a sectioned off area for Clinton and his people to walk. And the guy I know was on the other side of that sectioned off area, but it was still a secure area.
Al Gore?
What's that? No, it was Tipper.
Fucking Al Gore.
I was actually me. I was in a girl outfit massaging Al Gore, and he was asking for his glutes and receptors to be tugged.
Receptors.
Yeah, he was using proper language. The gluteus needs to be. So, and the guy said that he's never heard anybody scream like Clinton was screaming. It was something over routing, and he said he was just motherfucking. It was a private area.
What? I'm bummed.
Supposedly he was a brutal guy.
Yeah, I'm bummed I didn't
nice.
ask him when I met him and got that picture. I should have asked him about that.
I'm bummed he didn't scream at you, so you knew from firsthand.
Yeah.
Get this guy away from me.
Fuck away from me.
Like
Jimmy now dreams about me and the Clinton
dude.
picture. It's gotten that bad.
I talked about it on stage last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, 'cause I said something about I said about my dream, and someone yelled, "Yeah, Opie's Obama picture" at the Comedy
Just
Cellar.
yell things
So I'm
out.
like, I have to explain to the audience, like, yeah, my friend Opie's got a better picture than me, and they just didn't give a fuck. Like, so what?
But Jimmy obsessed.
It's not a part of my life.
Obsessed about it a little
I have to
bit.
think about it.
Matt, you're not the gatekeeper, are you?
the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
the gatekeeper.
all right. I just want to make sure.
No, the keeper's not gay. The gay
Oh, fuck.
keeper.
Chip.
Well, fuck Matt. Good first appearance. Good,
Yeah.
good radio voice.
That's why he was laying outside, because he's Matt.
You got your.
God, good one. That was a good
Hey,
one.
Chip's great.
I should be
like that.
protesting, cracking
You
everybody
got your
up.
thoughts together. I don't know. I believe some of the shit, but at least you got your thoughts. And,
One thing about the presidents is you gotta take a look at where these guys come from. Clinton, he came from an elite background.
A little town named Hope.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I mean, of
course it is.
Look where he studied. He studied at the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
That's where all these presidents, they always study at the London School of Economics, and they all come from elite backgrounds. Even Obama. The whole story about him coming out of nowhere in the political spectrum, it's not true.
Harvard.
This guy has been, for 20 years probably, they've been preparing him to be president.
Yeah, it's
So,
not like fucking young Abe Lincoln coming
It's-
from his log
It's
cabin.
not, and who knows even
But
where
I
he
don't-
came from. He might have been an elite himself.
I don't
know where
believe
he
that
came
he was
from.
being prepared for
Budinsky.
president for 20 years, though.
Yeah.
'Cause Who,
I
who
think
are they
they all
preparing now? I mean, you look at the Republican candidates.
They
no one
probably
is- no one
already
is-
know who the next president's going to be, and we just don't
Now,
know
they
yet.
would have better. I'm telling you, if that's what they were doing, I don't believe that. Only because there's such transparency, and it's so easy to see how full of shit they are right now. If they've been preparing for people doing this stuff, then they did not prepare for the way information is passed, because too many people are now questioning things, and that's you know what I mean. Too many
Yeah.
people are talking
People are
about the Federal
questioning.
Reserve, but it's like too many people, and people can find out things instantly now. It's just not as easy, I guess it was.
But
50
it's
years
still
ago.
a small minority. I mean, look at Wall Street. Even if we have 10,000 people down there, there's 10 million people in this city. It's still a very, very small minority. And even the media coverage, I mean, you would think that this would be the biggest story of the day, still, civil unrest in New York City. But no, they hide it. It's
Well, no, it's not that. They're starting to kind of do stories on it finally.
They were leaving it alone because it just seemed like, a bunch of fucking people smoking weed in the park and kind of mouthing off.
Fingering
But
dirty
now
shit.
now that the cops are starting to rack some head, it gets a little more exciting and they start covering it. That's how the news is
Peaceful
been.
protests are not interesting.
No,
That
they
is true.
suck.
Only shit being thrown through the Starbucks window or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what
After
it
the
is.
Brooklyn Bridge thing, when 800 were arrested, that's when the
Right.
news coverage really started.
Yeah, that's when
ramping
they
up.
started covering
Wow.
shit.
And supposedly about that, from everything I heard, is that the police really did corral people onto the bridge.
You didn't see that one thing where they were warning
Well,
people?
of course they're going to put out a video like
Well,
that.
then of course
but
they're
if-
going to put out things that said they corralled them
Well,
onto the
exactly.
bridge.
But, I
And-
mean-
and by the way, there were people in the street. It's like, get off the fucking street! People are trying to drive. I'm trying to get home.
There were a shitload of people. There were like 5,000 people marching. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you confine them all to a sidewalk?
Well, that's just it. You're not supposed to fucking march 5,000 people across a bridge that people are supposed to drive on.
See, that's
and if
what-
you do, you're going to be arrested.
That's why I have a feeling whoever was leading this march, we have no idea who
Plant?
is. Yeah.
That's the plant.
I really think they were, because the police had paddy wagons. They had buses ready.
Hey, Patty Wagon.
Yeah.
They
Like
had
they still
buses
call 'em
ready
that.
to make these mass arrests, and they carry around these zip ties.
Yeah,
They're
the
these-
zip strip cuffs.
They were ready to make 1,000 fucking arrests.
Can I want to read this tweet. Walk of Shame Band. Your intern had me liking him until he said he was voting for nobody. Way to make your voice heard by protesting, douche. There's a lot of people that make their voice heard by not voting.
Yeah.
What is wrong with not voting? That means you don't like anybody.
Exactly, and I think
Why do you have to be forced to vote for someone maybe you sort of might possibly like?
You shouldn't. I think it's better to stay out of the voting system itself. And
The fucking great George Carlin didn't vote.
Yeah.
And he was no dummy.
Well, I think he realized that it doesn't do anything. I mean, the systems. It's a very small. You only have a very small number of choices. Even if you vote for Ron Paul in this upcoming election, you know he's not going to win. I mean, he'll be like Ross Perot was back in '92 or whatever. And
That's
he'll
the only
be the
time I ever
third-party
voted was
guy.
for Ross Perot.
Yeah, but so what are you going to do? You're going to
blew it
take
with the
votes
vice
away from
president
another
thing,
guy.
man.
Yeah, you're just going to be a spoiler.
Right.
Yeah.
Stockdale, yeah. He's never good, but
Stockdale,
yeah.
wow, man.
But he
Yeah.
also got weird. Ross Perot got weird at one point.
But Ross Perot had all that heat, and then he picked Stockdale, who was just fucking out of his mind.
and he got nutty. He got
Ross
nutty.
was nutty.
Yeah, he was doing amazingly well.
Vast right-wing conspiracy.
Yeah, he got too crazy, and people like, hey, they tried to disrupt my daughter's birthday party. Shut up.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
What a hoot that guy was.
Yeah.
All right, listen, Matt, thank
Thanks,
you.
Matt.
All
Good
right,
job.
thanks,
we got,
guys.
we got Jim
Yes.
Jeffries coming in and William Shatner at 9:30, and you're going to be down there tonight?
Yeah, I'll be back down there.
So let's get a report
All
from
right.
Matt tomorrow. All
right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Really
good.
keep your eyes and ears open, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep your eyes open, especially when they're spraying mace in them. Okay? Yeah, you just keep those
Yeah,
open.
but the kids fingering girls, you gotta
Maybe you could
appreciate
ask the
that.
cop for some mace for your fingers. Like, hey, officer, could you just spray my fingers, man? This chick's filthy.
Yeah, then you put it in a cunt.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that was rough.
Mace fingers in her cunt.
That's a little
It's a
harsh.
great name for a fucking alternative band.
I love that she actually said I stink because I've been out here for 2
Was her
weeks.
breath bad?
No, not really, actually.
Let's go.
Hey, you got that Carlin voting thing, man? 'Cause
By the way, what genius bit that is.
I love fucking Carlin and that he openly said he didn't vote. Maybe he voted, but in general, he never voted.
It's the reveal of, like, because he takes something that we all know the answer to. Like, we all know the pat answer to what he says. I don't vote, so you can't complain. And the reveal of how he doesn't vote is fucking brilliant. He just changes your logic in that one moment.
Yeah.
I respect people more for not voting because I think it's making a statement of that I don't even want to choose between these choices you've given me. I want something different.
I get a lot of shit because I say I don't vote. I almost voted for Obama. It came close where I was like, holy fuck, I might vote for the first time.
Well, it's good you didn't fall in the trap.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
you know what? In the end,
fuck,
I
got
didn't.
fooled.
In the end, I didn't.
Yeah.
You know.
I like voting. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's fine too.
Pull
I'm
a
not.
machine. You
A
get
little
to see
private booth.
stupid people.
I get scared I'm not going to do it right. I just panic. I don't know where to go. Am I registered? What, do I pull the lever? Is it embarrassing? Are people going to laugh at me? You did it wrong. What are all these fucking names on here? How do I do it?
He's looking for a hole in the curtain. Put his
We got it, man.
I know. Yeah.
I absolutely respect people that want to vote and go out and vote. I absolutely do. But you know, there's a reason a lot of people don't vote. It's not just laziness.
No, I think it's mostly
They're
laziness.
smart.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth. Don't give,
most-
pe-
and
don't
is
give
that
people
why-
that much credit.
And that's why I get shit. Then I'm lumped into the lazy. But maybe
People are
there are
lazy.
people out
Maybe
there
you're
that
smart.
don't vote because they don't fucking like the choice.
I think that's the majority of the people that are lazy.
I
Then
probably
there's the
would have to
people
agree with you.
that actually have this knowledge of the system and say, no, why am I going to be a part of that? And then there are the people that just go, hey, well, I'll pull the lever for this motherfucker.
Seems like the local voting is way more important.
Local elections.
Yeah, local
Yeah,
elections
at least you have a little bit more of a
seem a
say
little
in
more
that.
important. But all right, you got the Carlin thing.
During.
Oh boy, he rocked us out.
rock.
He had an hour to.
Do you
find
have it?
No, I don't have
We've
it.
played
Why don't you? He just asked for it.
No,
you
I
haven't
don't.
been looking for it.
We've played it before.
Sir, I
We've
do
played it
not
many
have
times before. Were you paying attention?
Yes.
What were you doing?
What
He's
did,
so poor he can't pay attention.
what did Matt summarize what Matt said in the last 45 minutes if you were paying attention?
He fingered a girl and he hates the government.
A plus.
A plus on your. on your pop quiz.
On your thesis. Good job.
I fucking love the new E-Rock.
I know.
E-Rock
Do you have it,
really
though?
doesn't give a
I
shit.
might know the name.
I don't know the name.
Hold
of
on.
the track.
I have it on my. I'll give you a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
George Carlin. And it's called.
I fingered a girl. And I hate the government. What a great comedy
That's
track that
E-Rock's
would be.
summation.
Oh, wait. It might be
was
called.
Oh, did he smash me?
Is it? Hold on. It might be. Is it the end of Back in Town? There's a bit called Random Hostility. I want to see if it's on Back in Town. Free Floating Hostility. I don't know if it's on there. Hold on. I'll tell you in a second.
I'm looking down here to see if anybody pops it up.
Yeah, I
but
don't know where it is. It's not
these
on Your Old
people don't
Disease.
seem to be,
Oh, my God.
Is it Back in Town? Is that the one I'm looking at? Yeah, but that's probably on the end of Free Floating Hostility, which is a 17-minute bit.
I found it.
He's screaming.
God, anyone that tweets me boring gets a fucking one-way ticket to Block Island. What's wrong with you?
shit.
This is real shit going on in the world.
I
you
think it's
idiot.
interesting. We're talking to a guy
Of course it was.
has a nice voice. He's a nice boy.
And
He
just in
likes
case you're not into it, he's talking about fingering dirty pussy. How do you not listen to this shit?
That was probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Right there. Love that.
Dirty pussy and where your fingers
Love
smell.
the fingering.
How'd you get the
dirty
smell out of
pussy.
your fingers? Because I back in the day, I had a problem with that too.
Yeah, with McDonald's, wash my hands. But I always like to.
No, sometimes washing doesn't take care of it. That's what I'm getting at.
If it's not excessively smelly like this one, I won't wash just so I can smell it all day.
Yeah, you
But-
need a little carry around with.
Yeah, I love that. Just
What's
yeah,
worse
a
than a
reminder.
sour sour milk pussy? Old fucking yeast underpants.
Leave it up to Jimmy to take the sexiness out of it.
You ever smell a sour milk pussy though?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, sour milk pussy.
Terrible.
Man, have
That's
you been
pretty
with
bad.
some people?
Yay.
I had a dirty pussy girlfriend in college, man. It was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
I don't mind a little stink.
I guess maybe if I cut my nails, maybe that would help because I think it gets under the nails.
What are you scraping, taking fucking samples?
Yeah, he's
Ah,
giving
dude,
her a pap smear.
Fucking had a brush and was scrubbing out my nails. It was so bad.
Some of them I think it's like a permanent thing.
Yeah.
And then others it's just because they haven't showered in a little while.
There's an actual thing that happens.
Vaginosis.
Is it vaginosis?
Vaginosis. It's when there's a fluid collects under the labia and it smells like garbage juice. You can wash it all you want, but it's just the nature of the cell structures. The cells collect and it begins to coagulate.
Oh, fuck.
Let me
what is
see,
that?
Dan.
A leaky
Ah,
sauce.
God damn it.
Oh, Jesus
See, I
Christ.
hate when I see a white pussy like that. That looks like a yeast infection.
Oh, my God.
Either that or it's got fucking fungus on it. Probably yeast.
Good.
And women will say, "Look at me, I'm coming." It's like, no, you're not. That's fucking your pussy has eye boogies in it.
Nothing worse than
Your pussy just wake up.
nothing worse than a pussy that oozes mayonnaise.
It's terrible. You can almost hear it yawning.
Maybe it's just got like coming in from like a month ago.
Yeah, maybe. I'd hope so.
All right,
Or spider web.
It's Matt's show now.
I know.
Let's
Yeah,
put him
what's
on the
this show
fucking
called?
billboard.
The Matt and Jim and Aunt Nove and Danny show or something?
Good one, Chip.
We should have Matt do the shit hour. Sam's not here today.
Oh,
do the shit
yeah,
out.
there you go.
Where is Sam? I don't know. Oh,
Sam? Very, very mysterious.
hopefully getting a Steve Jobs-like diagnosis.
Steve Jobs.
I didn't want to make fun of Steve Jobs, but I said Steve.
Steve Jobs.
I really did trip on that fucking Igor Zolchan.
Steve Jobs.
Hey, E-Rock, would you help Matt through the shit hour today?
Sure. if
You could do
want.
like a whole Occupy Wall Street type hour or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. We'll see if it makes sense. Hey, George Carlin to break. Jim Jeffries next.
Yeah.
And William Shatner at 9:30.
So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around, I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote, and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day. I'm in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year, you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
Jim Jeffries in studio playing the Stress Factory this weekend. Vinny's fine club, in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Clum. Is clum even a word?
His clum.
His clum doesn't look good.
Where you been, man?
Just the normal, man. I've just been on the road. I only ever come over here like every 6 months.
I know, it sucks. We'd love to have
every
you
day,
on.
but no, just been touring as normal, man.
Yeah. You told us some great stories during the break. I don't know which one you want to tell on the air, but there's some doozies there, man.
I don't mind. You can tell any of those.
Any of them?
Yeah.
The Andy Dick thing, the Michael Phelps thing.
We can tell the Michael Phelps thing.
Yeah.
I've been fucking Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus, what happened to her self-esteem?
That's exactly right. She lays it like, as I was saying, you put no effort into fucking Michael Phelps' ex-girlfriend because you just know he's really fucked her. Like, he might look like he's got Down syndrome, but he's the greatest athlete that's ever lived. So you don't put it out.
Does he have a big dick? Did you ask?
Yeah, and she wasn't shy about it. Evidently, he was phenomenal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my God. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
That's too much pressure, sir.
I was laying in bed with her, and she got a text from him that went like this. He's trying to get her back, and the text was like, this is how dumb the fucker is, right? He sent her a text that went, if you were on the moon, I'd become an astronaut. And I was
he did not.
He did. I saw the text.
Yeah, where'd he get that from?
And I was like, I just call this relationship a day. You know, these long distance things don't work out. We never see each other.
Yeah.
They shut down the space program. It's over.
Yeah.
That would be an awful text from Buzz Aldrin. That's even fucking... That stinks.
He's too busy swimming and winning medals to figure out a good text, though.
She also told
that
me
part of his brain doesn't work.
She also told me that she once did shag him wearing all the medals at once.
Oh, wow.
Wow, huh?
That'd be like fucking Mr. T, wouldn't it?
Jesus.
Like he's got like 12 of them or something.
Yeah.
He's up
And
there.
he's got to have like incredible stamina.
Ah!
Like just non-stop.
But
Right?
he eats chocolate bars and drinks Red Bulls like he's full diet. He's burning off like 10,000 calories a day or something.
Jesus Christ. And you
She's the girl whose house he was at with the bong.
Really?
Yeah, she's very proud of that bong.
And you just crawl on top and fucking.
Yeah.
I don't even get on top. I just lay on the bottom.
Is there a picture of her? I gotta
Fuck
see
it.
what she looks like.
I'll show you later.
Is she your girlfriend or just a chick?
No, just a thing. I can't say too much.
The thing.
You said a lot. Yeah.
That was enough. That was good. Yeah, that was a
People
lot.
could connect the dots.
Yeah.
And how's the drinking going? Last time we checked, you were kind of sober.
I slip up every now and again. For the most part, I'm sober, but once a month, as I say, I just can't. I can't. If there's a girl involved, I can't not drink. I find that very difficult. But my health is back to normal. My liver's back to its original shape and everything like that. And I'm not shitting blood anymore. So
That's good. Congrats.
You got to look at the silver linings.
Congrats. That's great.
It was really weird when the doctor basically said to me, he goes, "Oh, you can start drinking again if you want." And I'm
Why
like,
would he say that?
Wow.
Doctor say that.
well, because it was all back to normal. Like he advised against it.
Well, yeah, but who's going to listen to that part?
I did Loveline, and Dr. Drew said I could drink as well. And if Dr. Drew said it, then
Yeah, because he wants you in his fucking rehab.
Yeah, no
rating.
kidding.
Yeah, the rehab
I tell you
show.
what,
He knows you would be great in that
I
house.
tell you what Dr. Drew does. When you're on that Loveline show with him, if you say an offensive joke, he silent laughs off microphone, so he keeps his image up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he goes, and then he comes back.
Comes back, oh,
comes
that's
back like,
right.
oh, that was unnecessary.
Well, what are you
yeah, but
saying
he
that
loves you
about?
taking the piss out of the addicts. He fucking loves it. That's like his go-to.
Yeah. That's fucking
I was
great. 'cause-
watching his show last night before I came on here, and he's talking about the Michael Jackson case and all that. And you've heard all the stuff about Michael Jackson mumbling. I'm sure you've already talked about it.
Yeah, we heard the
I just, even like when he's wiped out, I have less and less sympathy for Michael Jackson just hearing about his fucking childhood. his childhood wasn't that shit.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't have a childhood.
Yeah, if people knew I didn't have a childhood, you had a fucking, like, if everyone looks at their childhood from a bad angle, everyone had a shit childhood. If you just look at it from the wrong angle,
we all have shit, right?
And some people in like Africa and stuff, any angle you look at it, it's shit all over the spectrum. It's fucking shit. But his childhood was like, I had to work so hard and I wasn't allowed to play sport or something. And my dad hit me a bit. But you also got to hang out at Diana Ross's house. So shut the fuck up.
It led to that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that was
and
cool.
soccer sucks in the end. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But yeah, my dad still hit me, and I can't dance for shit.
He wasn't hitting you properly.
Yeah, he wasn't just doing it enough.
That's a great point, though. Like,
I don't disagree with you.
Nonstop, he was bitching that he never had the childhood, and that's why he had to build the fucking little park in Neverland and all that shit. It's like, shut up.
My dad took me to about 4 fun parks in my entire childhood. He missed out on 4 days. That's what he missed out on.
Yeah.
4 days of that shit.
Yeah, most of the time as a kid, you're just doing dumb, dopey shit anyway, and your parents are yelling at you for something.
Yeah.
It's like, who gives a shit? Yeah, he got to go on TV shows and fucking get anything he wanted. Be famous.
It's like my father my mother disciplined me so fucking hard. I watch these like super nanny shows where they have like the naughty step and stuff. Like you have to sit there and be quiet. That was my default mode if things were going well in a day. Like as soon as I entered a room, it was sit there and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that
wasn't punishment time. That was like I'm not in trouble.
Punishment was getting smacked.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Hey, sit down, shut up. Just sit in the corner, fucking be quiet. And that's a timeout, isn't it?
And in the old days when your parents hit you and you went to the hospital or whatever, the doctors didn't dob your parents in. They didn't tell on them. Like, you know, you remember like a doctor like stitching up your head going, do you want me to leave a scar so he knows what he did? That might be a good bit. I might do that.
Use that one.
That's all right, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired of people, especially it's this young America. Young America is just full of fucking pussies.
Yeah,
just fucking pussies, whining about something. Well, I'm not going to pick on our young intern friend that was just in here, Matt.
Was that an intern? I thought that was a guest.
Yeah, it was Matt, our young intern. But, you know, he's talking, and a lot of stuff he said was cool, but then there's these little things that are thrown in, and you go, oh, 24, right, right, I get it now. Yeah, there's always some kind of conspiracy. There's always some kind of bigger part of the machine that's always working against you. And then once you have a few years under your belt, you realize society is too stupid to come up with conspiracies and all these weird little fucking Illuminati things because people are dumb.
Well, it's also with conspiracy theories. It's like, how do you keep everyone?
Yeah.
It's like what I was saying to you before. I got a friend who just believes that there's a cure for cancer, but the medical companies are putting it aside because they make too much money off chemo and stuff. And he believes this. And the first thing I did when Steve Jobs died was like, yeah, how rich do you fucking have to be to get this stuff?
Right.
Like, wait, who are the people they're choosing?
Yeah, because they said that if you pay enough, they'll give you, slip you the cure.
Yeah, and what type of cunt would you be to pay all that money, get the cure, and then go, look, I'm going to tell the world?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't live with myself knowing that I've got the cure and there's other cunts dying. Like, fuck that.
Maybe Steve Jobs was ready to tell the world.
They pulled it away.
He got the cure, and they have some kind of a fucking remote control.
Maybe it's an app in the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Or the cure is so humiliating. It's like it's apple butter applied in your asshole with a fist, and it's the only thing that stops it, and nobody wants to do it. Apple butter.
Sounds delicious.
I don't know why. There's something healing about it when it's forced into the rectum.
I don't have
30 miles an hour.
I reckon they do have AIDS medication they keep pretty. I don't know.
Yeah, keep a lid on that.
Well, I just think that AIDS isn't as bad as it used to be.
No, it's not.
Who gives a fuck?
I think it's everybody that had it because kind of died.
Yeah, but like the Magic Johnson type of AIDS, where you're just like rocking it out for years and years.
Supposedly he doesn't even have a sign of it anymore.
But if he starts taking his medicine, he gets sick.
Is that what?
Yes, he has to.
It's like Propecia.
You gotta just keep taking it.
Speaking of which, what the fuck, dude?
I'm still just on Propecia. I was thinking
Your hair is. You used to have an island. Where's the island?
I'm just on the pills, but I'm still thinking of getting the transplant.
Are you doing Propecia?
Yeah, I've been on Propecia for years now. Yeah.
Does it work? I don't know what your hair.
Look at his hair. He used to have
3
separation.
years ago, I used to have just an island there and a whole bit through there, but I just take them each time. It did lower my libido. The irony of Propecia is it lowers your libido, but more women want to fuck you because you got hair. When I was bald, I wanted to fuck everything and no one would fuck me, and now I'm hairy and fuckless.
Does it put hair everywhere?
No, it just blocks the chemical in your body that makes the hair fall out.
Oh.
So it doesn't regrow your hair, but it strengthens up the ones you got.
It keeps it from any new shit from falling out.
Is it legit? I guess it is, because look at his hair, man.
Oh yeah,
But
it's definitely different.
Yeah.
It's what is it, $1 a day or no? It's fucking
some expensive shit.
$2 a day for the rest of your life. But I'm all right with that,
Yeah.
$2 a day is fine.
I know, and insurance don't cover that shit.
No,
They're just like, fuck you, pay.
yeah, and
Pay me.
it's one of those drugs where they just had like that's not the price of the ingredients.
No.
They just weigh it up like being a loser and not being a loser and the price you would pay.
Yeah, they take advantage of you. It's like, all right, yeah, this motherfucker wants some hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's why
we
if
could
there-
really gouge him.
If there is a cancer cure, just make the fucking tablet $1 million.
$1 million.
Oh, yeah.
$1 million. You got cancer? How bad do you want to get rid of this?
It would
$1 million
solve some of the problems in America, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how many people come forward with their mill.
Oh, look, if they had an AIDS cure, I would pay $1 million preventively. Like, I would pay it now just so I could fuck
just
anything.
Fuck everything that moves.
Go to Thailand and just start fucking ladyboys in the ass and have the syringe in my backpack ready to go. Just in case.
Like an EpiPen. You just fucking rail a lady boy in the ass.
Lady boys.
Stab yourself in the leg. You're good. That's good to go. Bring on the next one.
The best thing I ever saw in Thailand was when I was in one of those sex bars in Thailand. I was, if you can believe this, I got sex barred out. Like I was just
Had enough.
I was doing
yeah.
gigs out there, and every bar that I went to was just hooker. And I went, can we just go to a regular bar? So we go sit in this bar, and I'm like, this bar's good. I said to the guy, yeah, this is the type of bar. Thank you, a regular bar. And then he points upwards, and it's fucking got a glass ceiling, and they're all sitting on it, like suctioned onto it, with numbers written on their asses, so you can pick them off like a menu. And you can only see the cunt in the ass. But
like sucker fish.
That's all you need.
On the side of a fish tank.
And that's a regular bar in Thailand.
And the guy who has to clean that off, like, I don't know, maybe there's some
Someone's got
sicko
it,
that would just
right?
lick it off and just that would be like
damn,
this.
man.
I would imagine girls in regular bars, they're putting out.
Yeah.
They're not playing hard to get.
No.
You can't play hard to get in Thailand.
I imagine if you're a regular chick in Thailand and yeah. I got a mate who fucking who comic, and I won't say he's an Australian comic, but he picked up a bird in Thailand, and he didn't want to take her back to his hotel because he had a fucking his wife there or whatever.
Oh,
so he goes back to her house, which has like she's the youngest one in her family. Like the
it's gotta be,
grandparents were there, and the mother was there, and everyone really welcomed him. And he went and fucked her, and then they gave him a meal afterwards because they're such a hospitable bunch.
Holy shit.
And he said he grew to sort of like him, and he went back another day, like days later, like just fucking creepy.
That's just weird.
Do they know that he fucked her for money?
Oh, yeah, they came. They sent the daughter out to do that. That's the deal. They're weird, man. They live on the side of in Bangkok, on the side of these rivers in these little thatch huts. And it's really fucking shitty how they live. And then they have this ornate picture of they love the king.
Yeah.
Like they're, not Elvis, like their king.
Yeah.
They fucking love him.
Do they love him, or is he just like
No. You make a joke about him, and they all get fucking tetchy. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? They think he's like a deity. They love the guy, and he's a frumpy looking little fuck. And he just, he's always in silk, just smiling at the end of each room. They love him.
Wow. Let's fuck the whole family.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet the old broad's in charge of the whole.
So you didn't go to Thailand for the beaches, right?
I haven't been to Thailand for years, but no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get into too much trouble in Thailand.
You always got to look down when someone you know goes, "Hey, I'm going to Thailand. It's beautiful there."
It is beautiful
Yeah,
there,
but that's not why they're going.
I went there for gigs, but it is beautiful there.
90% of the people are going.
You had
there
an excuse
because of the sex trade.
It's the same reason 90% of people go to prison.
Yeah, a lot of businessmen that are coming back from there, they check their computers out and they end up in prison.
Why would you bring a computer to Thailand?
I have said to my mate that I live with, I said, if I die, I don't want anything from him, but he has to smash my computer up.
That's all.
That's my last will. Smash my computer
Or
up.
at least fucking erase my web history.
Don't let my mother near it. Don't say, oh, maybe he's got some photos on there that we've never... No, smash that fucking thing up.
If you were a real friend, you'll do this for
You'll
me.
do this for me.
You will break into my place. That could be a good business.
Oh man, imagine that.
That could be a great business to start.
Like a will or anything else. You sign up with a company whose job it is
That's
when
their
you
whole
die
job.
is to grab
Take out
every
your
computer
computer.
you have and just take them out. Fucking pop those hard drives.
That's how Gary Glitter was done, wasn't he? He took his computer in for repair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, really?
I can't fucking. Yeah, he took it in
we've
to
talked
get
about that,
repaired,
didn't we?
and he was like,
Yeah.
They had no suspicion of him whatsoever. He took it into PC World.
Wait, didn't he get busted in Thailand or?
No, that was
the
like the second or
second
third
time, yeah.
And wasn't he hanging out there, hiding kind of?
Yeah,
trying to?
that was after he got out of prison the first time, and he went, "Oh, I'll go off to Thailand
He
to
should just
hide
be
out."
shot in the fucking
He
head.
gets out of prison,
yeah.
and his first move is to go to Thailand.
Somebody should. The
Jesus.
fucking government should just shoot him in the head.
I know, but you know he still makes like $1 million a year off American sports because you guys do. Dun, 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 hey,
Wow.
dun, dun, dun.
This stupid PC country of ours, they're taking that out of the arenas.
No,
Oh,
they
really?
did, but they're starting to bring it back again.
A little bit?
Are they?
Yeah, they forgot about it.
Really?
And they're just like, yeah, they brought that back. They don't care.
But, you know, as long as they play Elvis music, Elvis was a pedophile, and that's never a nice thing to say.
he?
He had Priscilla Presley move into his house at 14 years of age. He became a legal guardian at 14,
Pederast.
signed off by the parents, fucked her till she was 16, then married her. No matter how you look at it, Elvis Presley was a pedophile.
To me, that sounds like a smart businessman. You're homegrown.
But see, the thing is,
How much did the parents get out of that deal?
I don't know. He knew him from the army or something, the dad. But we don't care because he's Elvis.
How old
You know,
was Elvis when he met Priscilla, though?
He was in his early 20s. He wasn't that old.
I wouldn't call him a pedophile. That if she was 14 and he was like 22 or 23, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
But pedophile to
She
me is
looked
somebody who
she looked
fucks like
pretty good,
9-year-olds.
Yeah, she looked pretty good. With
Yay.
that beehive,
Pretty
she
good.
looked taller, didn't she?
Yeah, she looked
And he
a
was
little
talented,
taller.
you know, so who cares?
What's he gonna do?
So how talented do you have to be to fuck a kid? Like Roman Polanski and all that type of stuff. Like there is those people who say leave Roman Polanski alone. No, have you read that case?
Yeah.
He fucked a 14-year-old girl,
13. She was 13.
13-year-old girl in the ass after plying her full of drugs in Jack Nicholson's spa bath. That's a sex crime
It's
anyway.
a great story.
Yeah.
It's a great story to have, though.
Meanwhile, Nicholson was getting blown by somebody in a bunny rabbit costume. But yeah, I agree. She fucked Roman Polanski. All these fucking hipsters and people because he's a good director.
And why did they leave Nicholson alone?
Well, Nicholson wasn't there in the house. He was just lending. He was just lending him his house.
Oh, that's why he skated.
Yeah, but he said that he wanted her over there for a fucking photo shoot, and the mum sort of let it happen, and it was all very weird. And because the girl now,
But did she look 13?
Not with cum on her face, no. Has anyone ever looked 13 with a cock coming out of their ass? That's a fairly adult activity. She was very mature.
Oh my God. Fucking Jeffries, moved to New York.
Shit.
But
That's been too long, sir.
Well,
yeah, there she is now. And
She wants people to forget it.
And she says, "I forgive and forget," but that's not up to her, though, is it?
No.
It's not up to her. That's like he never served the time. And the problem was there was some judge who had it in for him who was going to give him more of a sentence than he deserved,
And
he
that's
ran.
why he ran, yeah.
And he ran because there was some judge that was trying to get more famous off the case than anything.
Polanski's a cocksucker, though. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And they still can't line up to work with him. They still can't wait to do his movies. And it's amazing if you say nigger publicly, you're crucified. But because he fucked a 13-year-old many years ago, and people felt bad about Sharon Tate.
That's
They
her
all
right
work with
there.
her.
Oh, oh boy.
There's her at 13.
That could be a problem.
But that's the thing is, all these actors signed a petition to let Roman Polanski come back in to make movies. Who was the first person to sign it?
Nice ass.
Woody Allen.
Well,
And you don't want Woody's fucking seal of approval on pedophilia, do you?
Maybe they shouldn't have started with Woody Allen. Zach D in Jersey and Warren Zevon's autobiography. This is about what you said a little while ago there, Jim Jeffries, who's going to be at the Stress Factory. His son talks about being put in charge by his father of vanishing his porn collection when he finally succumbed to the cancer. Apparently, he was a big fan of recording himself with women, a la Bob Crane.
Oh, yeah.
So he
Bob
made a little
Crane.
deal with his son going, look, man.
There's
Why would he get rid of
pe-
it himself if
for
he knew he
people
only had a
who
few
don't
weeks
know
left?
this, there's an app on the iPhone now which is like a safe where you got to put a code in and you
Yeah.
can hide everything behind
Oh,
it.
yeah, you got it.
So yeah,
You're crazy if you don't have one of
and
those.
the cool thing about it is, if you're looking at the picture and the girl comes and looks over the shoulder, if you tap it really quickly, a graph comes up like, oh, I'm looking at my charts.
My charts! Your charts!
Yeah. Oh, that's up, is it? Oh, fantastic.
I think I know that app that you're talking about. And
Yeah.
you could even set up like different passwords, so you could put like a phony one in. So if they use the phony one,
Yeah.
it'll just you could put whatever you want, like flowers and rainbow pictures and shit. So.
In my one, if they put the wrong pin number in 3 times, it shows pictures of ducks.
Is this the one you mean? Yeah.
You have that one.
Yes, I
Put
do.
the
I got
wrong
that
pin
one.
number in 4 times.
Hold on, let me see if I even have the right one. Yeah, I don't have any pictures on here, actually. Hidden pictures 0. How do you hide a picture? You just fucking...
I'll show you later, but it's not hard. You just transport, and once you transport it, you just remember to delete it.
Oh,
on
you
the
do
other
have to
one.
delete it after.
Delete it afterwards.
But it won't
and
delete it from the
but
actual
It won't delete
phone.
it from that
Oh,
one.
good God.
Good gravy.
Let me put it... Hold on,
Yeah,
put it on password.
that's a handy little app to have.
That's a family saver. That app.
Is that how it's listed?
Shit. Yeah, Bob Crane, boy, he missed out, huh? He used to have to tote around fucking film
Tripods
equipment and videos and tripods and
He had to rent a
giant
U-Haul truck to film
cameras and shit to video his sex
He would have
exploits.
loved the iPhone
Now,
with the video capabilities.
Fucking A, little
Yeah, just
digital
a
camera.
lovely flip camera.
Oh, it'd been
Off
the
you go.
flip camera under his ball bag. Just
But it's not
railing
even, it's not
someone's
even
wife.
taking around. It's the editing.
Yeah,
Afterwards, having that reel and the scissors and the sticky tape.
Yeah. Now he's just on fucking,
Yeah, I didn't like this
Like
part
an
right here. I gotta cut
iMovie.
this out.
And to answer your
Right.
question, why did he not just get rid of it himself, Warren Zevon? Because he wanted to jerk off to it. He wanted to die jerking off watching himself. You never want to get rid of your porn. What if you have 5 more years? So he wanted to jerk off till the very end. That's why he didn't.
Not a big fan of watching myself.
I love it.
I sometimes watch it back, the home porn, and I'm so pale that I just look like a fucking retard on these like tan girls. Like, who is that?
Well, you gotta get better
Who
lighting.
is that cancer patient fucking that woman?
You want some of our filters?
Yeah, right. We'll give it some lighting.
And I do a joke about this on stage, which it always ends with me running towards the camera, just staring down, going, "Where's the button? Come on."
Embarrassing.
The red light's still on.
There's nothing wrong with like setting up a camera with the TV in the room, not hitting record, and then just watching it on TV as you're doing it.
That's a bit weird.
I agree.
No, it's
Yeah, I
not
don't-
because it's not weird because it's like you're watching a movie. You know, there's no video of it. Why would you watch it later? That's fucking
To
weird.
jerk off
No,
to.
I
why
watch it.
You jerk off to something you did?
That's the beauty of it.
No, you
watch
jerk
it
off to a
as-
fantasy.
As soon as the girl dumps me, then I've always got a little bit of a look what I've
Well,
got.
that's good too to have it, but that's a completely ulterior motive.
That's that weird thing is whenever you're texting a girl and you say, send me a picture of your cunt or whatever, and then you go, send me one with a couple of fingers in, they send it to you, and all that type of stuff. And then like the girl, like, send me a picture of your cock. They don't want a picture of your cock. They just want some guilty evidence that they've, something to get at you later with.
You don't have
Yeah.
a fucking face in your cock pictures, though, right?
No.
That's a
But-
rookie mistake.
But I do, I do
Another
have,
guy's face.
I do have a few pictures of my cock in like different moods.
Depending on what you're
like
feeling that day.
angry or sleepy.
a little fucking,
That's-
just a little plumped up to the side.
Yeah, that sleepy one where it's up to the side with just a drop of cum coming off like it's time for bed.
There's some where it looks soft, where it looks really good. So I've taken a few where it's soft, but it just looks nice, and it's like that's very impressive.
I often take pictures of smaller objects next to mine to send it off.
Scale.
Just to make
Force
sure.
perspective.
Small thing of the Eiffel Tower.
One of those little Coke cans or vodka bottles off the airplanes.
Yeah, it's a fifth, I swear.
A child. So that's a regular person.
Their little hands don't even fit around it.
Fucking Jeffrey's going to be at Stress Factory this
When?
weekend.
Tomorrow? Is it
Are
tonight?
you starting tonight?
I'm saying tonight, yeah.
What is today? Thursday or Wednesday?
Today's Thursday, yeah.
So tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, or no?
No, Sunday,
Just
no
Saturday.
Sunday.
Okay.
Tickets still available?
I have no idea.
732-545-4242.
Right.
For Jim Jeffries tonight through Saturday.
And Jimmy's going to be at Stress Factory.
Not till November, though.
A couple more. Well,
not till November. You can go to
about
both
a month,
shows.
right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be in Caroline's in November 23rd, the weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be there.
So we'll see you then too.
Yeah,
That's good.
and I have nowhere to spend Thanksgiving, so I'm going to spend it here. See, this is what I love doing with Americans. I don't fucking know your holidays or get them,
Yeah, who
right?
gives a shit?
It doesn't mean anything to me, but you say to something, people go, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? And then it's like, nothing. Oh, you have to come over to our house. And I go, do you want to know what I've done every Thanksgiving? Nothing. I don't even know what the fuck. Do I get turkey? Is there presents
why?
or something? I don't even get what it is.
Like, I'm sure there's holidays that you have.
Yeah, what's a
that
big holiday you
we
guys
don't.
have that most Americans don't
We
know
have
about?
we have Australia Day, which is basically which is basically when the white people came in and killed the black people. like to put it quickly, but
it's the only foreign holiday I celebrate.
We'll say it's when they colonized
That's gonna have to
Australia.
take that day off.
Yeah. They all drink lager and watch Breaker Morant. I don't know.
Yeah, we all go out in the harbour in boats and we eat like damper and Vegemite and shit and fucking just get drunk. You know, it's one of
Thanksgiving's
those-
fun though. It's good. It's a good food holiday. That's all it is, really. And it's basically to celebrate. We became. It was a friendship that was offered that we repaid with slaughter.
This is very similar to Australia Day.
Yeah, it really is.
Here's a peace pipe, and then we just lopped their heads off.
Look at the lovely Indian. I don't know if the Indians are very friendly. That we make it out as like
Maybe not. Maybe
oh,
they
were all
resented us
friendly.
coming over there and taking their shit.
I think the second we stepped onto the fucking beach, they were like, I don't like these guys.
Don't blame them.
And I think we were also, the Europeans were like, I don't like these fucking Indians.
But you got to look at it from like the Aboriginals or the Indians' point of view. That's like the equivalent of seeing a UFO.
Yeah, no
Like
shit.
for us now, you know what I mean? Like a boat.
Yeah. Well,
They've never
dude,
seen a boat.
The end of Apocalypto
I
is
think you're
fucking great.
Yeah.
When you see like they run
Christians.
to the beach and they're just like all they wanted to do was fucking kill each other. These motherfuckers have been chasing each other around the jungles like crazy, killing each other, and they stop thinking about even killing each other. They're just all standing there looking at these giant fucking wooden ships.
Did the
what
Indians
the
have
fuck
boats? Did they have boats?
Probably like little canoes and shit. Sure.
But this
The,
was
the Aboriginals didn't have wheels.
they didn't know anything. No, this was like the fucking in Central American shit.
Bunch of Maseratis with square tires. They just couldn't figure that out. No one went anywhere.
I think they invented fire, but it was by accident. There was a thunderstorm one day. I don't think one of them was rubbing sticks or anything. They just went, look at this
Just had some
one.
brush.
Let's try to replicate that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did we get that when it's not coming from the sky?
How's your podcast? You still doing it with Eddie?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
going
cool.
well. Yeah, it's going well. We get taken down off iTunes all the time.
Why?
I don't know, because it's meant to be no censorship, but, things might change today.
There's censorship on iTunes for your language?
They have this thing where they just pull you down. You write to them and go, why have you pulled us down? And they'll send you a letter that goes, we don't have to tell you, and we can pull down whoever we want.
Oh,
And so it's
we
like-
reserve the right.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a cunty nightclub. That just kicks you out.
So they don't tell you why?
Yeah, but we're back on at the moment, so I have
Do you have
nothing
an
but
idea,
nice
though?
things to. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think sometimes if we're a little bit a bit racist or
So
something.
what?
I think that's normally the
How
way.
come? Did they taking rappers down for what they're fucking saying in their lyrics?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, you could get any fucking
But
rap song on
It's
iTunes. yeah.
going well. We're getting like 300,000, 400,000 downloads a month.
That's pretty good.
So that's pretty. Like that's over the course of 8 episodes.
Still
but
nice.
still pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know though. They'll censor you on there.
Yeah, the only people who advertise with this are like fucking gambling sites and sex toys.
Illegal gambling.
They're all in.
Illegal gambling pyramid sites.
No blue chips yet, but those guys are in. That's kind of the problem. That's why we're all looking at it like, all right, when is this going to turn? And real advertisers start, coming aboard.
I think Corolla gets real advertisers, doesn't
Yes, he's getting there.
Yeah.
And I think Marin probably does. I don't know.
That'll be the game changer because then that'll be an option for
I think it does. Yeah,
all of us.
Marin said he makes money off of merchandise, a lot of merchandising or something. Last time he was in here.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
But guys like him and Corolla have really put in a lot of time. Like Corolla, especially doing live shows and fun. You know what I mean? It's like been a couple of years. How long has he been off CBS? 2.5 years?
Easy. Yeah.
And he's been fucking eating it for a while as far as financially. He had to build that. And then Marin, too. Marin's putting a lot of work. He's got 50 or 60 or 70 episodes. Why did I just say a lot?
Well, you got to be creative. You got to do the podcast in front of people and all sorts of stuff.
I love the live podcast. Love it.
You like it, huh?
Fuck yeah, man. It's great.
Well, that's your world. You live in that world.
It's fun. No, but you guys do good there, too. We all do good in those things. It's a phenomenal audience.
Yeah. All right. Hey, why don't we take a break? Because we got William Shatner coming in, but we'll do a little more.
I'm super excited about this.
Have you met him?
Never met him.
Oh,
No.
he's great. We love
He
this
played
guy.
Captain Kirk.
I know. I've heard about. I know him more from his shit. My dad says. That was.
You like that
really?
show?
No.
He's kidding.
Scared me for a second.
I don't know.
I'm trying to reference the shittiest bit of his career.
You fucking got me so bad.
I was watching TJ Hooker the other day. That was fan-fucking-tastic, though. It's
Heather
so
Locklear in a prime.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was just so fucking funny. Like you watch cop shows have gotten more realistic, cop dramas over the years. But then when you see like First 48 and Cops and like the real fucking reality cop shows, you realize like, oh my God, you watch TJ Hooker and just like, all right, scum, freeze scum. It was always like he's holding like from the hip with the gun and just he did everything. He was the forensics guy, the detective, the fucking, and then you watch cop shows and realize cops fucking pass shit off to other cops. It's like that guy doesn't do TJ Hooker's doing his own DNA testing.
Well, they had to fill up an hour,
He's the lawyer in court.
Yeah, it's
he's putting him behind the cell.
Everything. It was fantastic.
Everyone wants to know the app for hiding the stuff as we go to break. What is it called?
Hold on a second.
It's called. It looks like a safe.
Yes.
Now,
PS it says.
Yeah.
Pay for the
PS,
gold one, not the silver one, because the gold one you can have photos and videos.
I don't know which one do I have, Jim. Oh, I have the silver one.
You
for
just have
Pete's
photos.
sake.
You just have photos.
How do I get the fucking silver?
You pay an
Gold.
extra couple of dollars for the extra.
Oh, that's how
one,
they
yeah.
get you.
But the thing is, I think the gold one's too flashy. It screams out on your phone. You know what I mean?
You want it to just sink in with all your other apps somewhere.
Yeah, you want it
like, nothing special, nothing to look at here.
I want it to look like. I want it to look like a camera, or just. I want it to look like an angry bird.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that it even looks kind of like a safe.
Yeah.
It's like
I've been caught with it. I say that's where I keep all my PIN numbers and stuff.
Yeah,
People,
yeah, sure.
You know, you gotta lie.
You gotta lie. Jesus.
Well, that's what life is. Life is like I'm one of these guys that tells the truth. Whenever it's good for me, I tell the truth. You know, but sometimes you just gotta lie.
Yeah.
You know, fucking. It's no use upsetting people.
Right. You're trying to do them a favor.
You're taking care of them.
Doing them a favor.
This
by
isn't
lying.
about me.
It's like whenever my
protecting
mum's
your
really
feelings.
sick and she's dying and she asks me, "Do you think that we'll see each other in heaven one day?" I go, "Yep."
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not.
Meanwhile, you know.
I'm not going to look my mum in the eye and go, "Nah." Won't be seeing you again, Daddy.
That's a good point. It really is. Jim Jeffries, Stress Factory, starting tonight, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right. More with Jim. William Shatner on the way. Mr. Jeffries, Jim Jeffries at the Stress Factory.
Yeah.
Excuse me, starting tonight.
We didn't
through
miss
the
that
weekend.
salty language, though.
Hell no. Hey, we got some
Unnecessary.
Metallica. I want to play something for everybody. Why are you playing Metallica? Is there a reason we should know?
I know why.
No reason.
Okay. We got 8-year-olds singing Enter Sandman.
Yay!
Have you heard the Lou Reed thing with Metallica?
Well, it's sitting right in front of me. I hear it's horrible.
It fucking sucks.
What is it?
It's just Lou Reed pissing over a good song.
Overrated fucking.
Just
Very
going,
overrated.
Can't
I
stand
am a
him.
magnet. I control you. I propel you. I bring you
we hear it?
forward. And then it's like,
talking. His bullshit talking fucking.
Tom Waits is overrated too.
We
sorry.
were trying to.
I think Johnny
like Tom
Cash is, but people get angry when
No,
I say
I
it.
disagree with you on that
That's
one.
fighting words, sir.
Yeah.
Fighting words.
I disagree.
Everyone
You
talks
got two
like he's
big
a
Johnny Cash
fucking
fans in-
god.
I
know.
and
I'm
no
not.
one, no one ever names more than 6 songs. The guy fucking worked
The
for
fucking-
40, 50 years.
Get your pen out. You're ready.
He's bringing out a fucking song a year.
I'll give you some great songs. Fucking Ring of Fire is great. Ghost
Actually,
Riders in the
okay,
Sky.
I'm
The
gonna-
Wall is a fucking great tune.
I'm going to rephrase
Fable
it.
of Willie Brown.
I'm going to rephrase it. Okay, he might not be overrated to people like you who actually like him, but in the sense that there are a lot of people who say they're Johnny Cash fans who don't know more than the fucking movie.
Fair enough.
Just to
Yeah,
say.
that is fair enough.
that
Yeah.
they're a Johnny Cash fan.
And they just so they can watch him go, and I will have my way, my empire, dear. And they're like, fucking hell, man, that's his wife, and she died before him, and they just fuck off, you cunts. It's a bad cover.
That was
That's all
even
it
like
is.
that cover. I thought it was great.
It was a great cover.
I like his cover.
I love Johnny Cash.
I like your angle on it, but it was a great. It was
my
a
God,
great
yeah.
cover.
No, but you
man.
know when you get
It really
fucking
was.
coked up with some guy in a room and that song comes on and you're like, oh, I'm here for the long haul now.
Oh, Christ.
Fucking fuck me. Fuck me. Who put Johnny Cash on?
His cover of he did Danzig wrote a song for him called 13, which is fucking badass, man. Fucking 13 is great, and I love his covers and stuff. I didn't like him, like Rusty Cage.
How about the Atomic Sky one?
I don't know it.
The Wanderer. I went wandering.
I don't know that one.
Oh yeah, you do. Give me that.
Ain't No Grave is good.
We played this one on the show before, Jimmy.
Oh, I love him.
Bow, 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 bow,
I hate how he's like, hi, I'm Johnny Cash.
I'm
And people
Johnny
like lost their
Cash.
shit. Like, he just said his fucking name.
Boy Named Sue.
Boy Named Sue is rubbish.
He didn't write it, but it's a good song.
Rubbish.
It's fucking
I'm not a fan of that.
I
one.
like that. Silly.
I don't mind the Folsom City
I Walked the
Prison
Line is
Blues or
great.
whatever is a
Yeah,
good
Folsom
song.
Prison Blues.
Yeah.
Fucking
I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. That's gangster shit. I like that. I just
He was
like
the original
that.
gangster, bro.
Yeah,
Like, I
you-
just want to watch him die.
yeah, just to
Performing in
watch him
prison.
die. When the Beatles are fagging up in the corner, just holding girls' hands.
He's shooting people just to watch him die.
You got to respect that.
Actually, that is a pet hate of mine. Is when you meet someone who go the Beatles are overrated. Even people who hate the Beatles can still name 30 songs.
Wandering
true.
by with U2 is a great song. I'm telling you. It was
What?
an original too. It wasn't a cover.
How about The Beast in Me? I think that's a cover he did. That's great.
Beast in Me.
Fucking
Rusty Cage. He did a nice
I
version
love
of that.
Redemption's his song is great.
Yeah,
Ain't No
yeah,
Grave.
yeah.
Life Goes On.
Why would you want to listen to fucking I hurt myself? It's like so depressing.
It's much better than Iron Scales version.
Fucking no, it's depressing.
Right.
Yeah,
He is depressing,
I
but you're
got-
right.
My voice is terrible, but I
You
can
gotta
sing
like
better than Johnny Cash.
Well,
You got to
you're an
acknowledge
opera
some of those other
Not anymore.
emotions. You have
Everybody
to.
nodges me.
Which one is this?
This
Oh, yeah.
I hurt myself today trying to get out of my chair because I'm very old. I fell over. I think I crushed my wife.
I want to fuck you like an animal. I want to feel you on the inside. Cover that one, you fucking faggot.
You want to hear Metallica?
I want to hear
Lou Reed?
Metallica.
Because we've done the Hurt
Well, see,
thing.
the thing is, I really like the album Transformer. I think that's a great album,
Yeah.
and it was an album I really dug as in my early teens. But apart from that, I never liked the Velvet Underground. Velvet Underground's one of those bands that people just say they like.
I never
Yeah.
got him.
You know,
It's cool to say you got it and you liked it.
they Sweet Jane over and over
know
again.
who will fucking turn you would be Ronnie B. Ronnie B loves the Lou Reed. He will turn you, but he's got, he really knows his shit about it.
I think Perfect Day, Satellite of Love, You Keep Hanging Around Here, and Wild Thing. It's a good album. But apart from that,
Satellite of Love's a decent tune.
Satellite of Love.
Here,
I just got used to hearing that from Ron Fez.
In Britain, they did a version of Satellite of Love, like a We Are the World, where all the celebrities came in and sang a little bit. And it was all right. Bowie and stuff was on it.
Why don't we do the Metallica with Lou Reed? I think
Lou
they were on The View. What the hell happened to Metallica? Oh no, the song's called The View. All right.
No,
I got
Holy
scared.
shit.
Let's spread that rumor. They're on The View.
They were on The View. Yeah, it was terrible.
I see on the disc it says The View. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
James Hetfield did a cooking segment.
Yeah, what's wrong with
It's
this?
great.
Yeah, he was cooking with gas.
Oh, Chip.
That stupid Sherry Shepherd. Fucking dummy.
You wait till he just starts talking rubbish.
I haven't heard
over
this
top
yet.
I know I'm gonna hate this.
I am a chorus.
Seriously.
What the fuck are you doing?
Let it play out a little bit.
It's slamming fucking Metallica, and then
It sounds like a good song, doesn't it? You're going, this song's going to kick ass, and then he goes,
You're waiting for it to kick in.
Have you ever had heroin? I have. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I keep it to myself.
I am a chorus of the voices that gather up the magnets.
He talks
Set
sings.
before
Yeah.
me.
He can't sing. That's what it is.
He used to be able to sing, but his voice is done.
I attract you and repel you. A science of the heart.
Terrible.
And blood and meaning.
Terrible.
If this was anyone but Lou Reed, everyone would say this sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
The problem with this is fuckwits around the world are going to dig it.
Ugh.
You know what I mean?
There is no time for guilt or second guessing based on feelings. I am the truth.
Wow.
He's tone. First of all, I've always said he's tone deaf. He's like one of those guys that if he was singing in the car or something, you'd be like, ugh. He'd be all off key from it.
Yeah.
He can't fucking sing. He's not a singer. He stinks.
I think he has a cool voice, though.
No, it's
Well,
horrible.
yeah, he did too, but the voice wears off over years, and
think?
he hasn't.
I think the
he
voice is
sings
cool.
as
I
good
just
as
never-
Steve Jobs lives.
Oh boy, why did you have to do that? That just happened. Too soon.
Who cares?
Too soon, Jim. Too soon.
Beauty that causes you to cross your sacred boundaries.
Is it poetry?
He's fucking terrible.
Are we done with this?
is
Terrible.
awful.
Are we done?
That's awful.
Done?
I have no morals. Some think me cheap. And someone who
I could do this.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I woke up and my
Yeah.
breath stunk, so I brushed my teeth.
That's all you
I
gotta do.
both attract you and repel you with my breath. That's what it is.
It's terrible.
What is James Hetfield doing? Just sitting on a stool drinking coffee? What do they
No,
make him
he's,
do?
he's playing guitar. He plays still
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
guitar
yeah, I
for him.
guess
fucking
He's still,
laughing.
But he wants to fucking...
He's still. Is it?
You
a
know
whole,
he wants to just knock him out of the way and start singing.
Are they just? Are they doing like a duets album, or are they doing a whole album with Lou Reed?
How'd you say duets?
Duets.
Jewets. It's like a Jewess.
Yeah. Duets. It's like.
How do you say frog?
It's like the Jewish Supremes.
How do you say frog?
Duet.
Frog.
See, Sam fucking picked that shit up when he was in England. Frog?
It's a frog.
Frog.
What was the other one? You say costume?
Costume.
Costume.
Costume?
Costume. Well,
Sorry,
I don't
it's
know.
inside
I
shit, I'm
can't. I
sorry.
can't hear that being weird. That one.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Where's the kid singing?
Yeah, where's the other one with the Metallica?
You want to hear that before
Yeah.
Mr. Shatner?
I hear
8-year-olds?
Danny said that was pretty funny.
Yay.
I don't know where it fucking went though. Man.
Uh-oh. What happened? Oh,
There you
boy.
go. They're doing Enter
Oh.
Sandman. Bunch of 8-year-olds.
What are they doing there? What's this from, by the way?
Are they playing the instruments?
I don't fucking know, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, they could be like
Why bother
fucking
me with this
Silverchair.
shit?
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Silverchair were young.
Dude,
Yeah,
Silverchair was one of
Prodigies.
your big bands down under.
I remember I saw Silverchair. When that album came out when they were 13th. You know,
We got
You
it.
Massacre, that one.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw them out in the shops, and I'd bought the album. Like, oh, wow, Silverchair, and they were they were there with their mums. I was still 13.
Yeah.
Me and Ant were responsible for getting bands like Silverchair, Days of the New, if you remember, Ant, beer. Because they played
At their gigs.
all our gigs when we were in Boston, and they were all too young to drink, but they all wanted beers. And we're like, well, if you have a hit album, I guess it's okay.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I always, whenever people use that example for America, because the rest of the world can drink when they're 18.
Yeah.
And everyone always uses this argument. They go, if you can go to war, then you can have a beer.
Yeah.
And my argument is not the porn argument. If you can get fucked by 20 black guys and jizzed on your face, give,
right. I'll
give,
date
that,
you.
give that girl a cocktail. Someone deserves a beer.
She needs a drink.
Yeah, that's war right there.
Tomorrow was a great song by Silverchair. Sounded like Pearl Jam, though.
Yeah,
A little
but
bit.
with an
Everyone
Australian
did.
twang.
Everyone did at that point.
All right, here's 8-year-olds doing Metallica.
It's pretty good.
So they're playing.
Is this that School of Rock shit? It's all over the place now.
There'd be a nerdy Asian kid on the keyboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Gel in his hair.
Yeah.
Trying to look.
Some girl who used to play the cello who's learnt the double bass.
This is hilarious. This is really fucking. Gonna kick in. Someone's writing, the drummer sucks. They're 8.
Drummer sucks.
He's got no meter.
I think he's doing all right.
Of course, he's 8. But how does an 8-year-old sing? Whipping your pillow. That's pretty goddamn
That's all
funny.
right, huh?
I thought the kid did
Exit white.
I think
got a
he
little
did
speech
a
impediment.
good job. When he
Yeah.
said that, clutching your pillow tight, you know he was looking at somebody in the crowd that was some cunt to him in the sandbox. Just like, fuck you.
I'm rocking.
Yeah.
You suck.
Someone wants us to go to the guitar solo. The guy really plays it. She really plays it. I guess it's a girl on guitar.
Boo.
Ah, come
That's
on.
just silly.
I didn't know girls were allowed to be 8.
Where's William Shatner? You want to hear what Axl sounds like these days?
We had beaming in.
we had Duff McKagan on yesterday.
Isn't Axl fat now or something? He looks like Van Morrison now, actually.
Is he chubby now?
Yeah, haven't you seen the pictures of him in the yellow jacket with the hat? He does. He looks like Van Morrison. They were all getting into him about being a bit chubby, yeah.
Now I got to look it up, man. Fat Axl, all right. See if it comes up.
It was like, it made the newspapers in England yesterday. I was writing my column and they said that was one of the topics I could write about, Fat Axl Rose.
Was it
From the Daily Mail.
It's a small pic. All right. Well, we had Duff McKagan in yesterday, and this is how Axl sounds today.
Around 7, we're gonna stay around 9. Get on the bus about 11, sipping a drink and feeling fine. We've been dancing with the brownstone. He's been knocking. You won't leave me alone.
That is fucking sad.
Yeah.
I can't hit any notes.
That's a bad day.
It sounds kind of like a lounge singer almost, right? And
what happened there? Yeah.
Once your voice is gone, your voice is gone, man.
Done.
I got nodules now, man. My voice goes every weekend after gigs, and there's nothing you can do.
Well, you're just like this.
But it's why I'm going to end up like a Bobby Slayton or one of those type of comics.
Oh God, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Not all comics ended their voice with "Hey kid, yeah, it's great, really good working with you."
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
More importantly, Google image Axel fat. You're not kidding. He looks like Van Morrison.
Yeah.
He is fucking fat.
Yeah. And the yellow jacket doesn't help things.
No.
Should wear black Axel. It's very slimming.
Yeah.
You would have never guessed that was Axl Rose.
But he isn't fucking rocking out in just the kilt anymore, is he?
No.
Or the bike pants.
No.
No bike pants anymore.
I don't think he's jumping across the stage either.
All right, we'll get back to that because Mr. Shatner has just arrived.
Oh, there he is.
The great William Shatner has just arrived.
Agglomeration.
How are you, Bill?
Guys, how are you? Opie and Anthony. It's
been a while, sir.
It's been
the Opie and Anthony channel. I can't
wow.
believe it.
No one's supposed to know about that.
Yeah, that's
Mr.
okay.
Shatner, but that's okay if you're announcing it.
Yeah, of course it is.
Opie and Anthony channel.
It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet.
It's barely a show, and here it is a channel.
That's true, right?
Barely a show.
It's yeah. I guess. Did he just make the official announcement?
I guess. Yeah.
I was doing some recordings back there before I came in the building. They wouldn't let me in the building, first of all, and then they finally let me in the building. The first thing I do is, would you say the Opie and Anthony channel, please?
Nice.
Why wouldn't they let you in the building? You're William Shatner.
I know.
Maybe that's why.
I know. I left my bag that I carry around in this car that's taking me around. I didn't want to schlep it around.
Yeah.
So I left my identification.
Oh
so
my
the
God.
person from the publishing company is holding up my book as identification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and the woman says, I read it. I don't want him to get.
I would have just given that retinal scan, much like you did in The Wrath of Khan, where you just looked into it.
My eyes are
in order to
bloodshot
get,
from.
Yeah, in order to get the information for the Genesis device.
Yes, that was very complicated.
This happens every time.
There was a laugh after that was worth it.
I like to think I could sit and talk with Bill about
we can. About the Opie and
anything, a little
Anthony
bit of everything,
channel.
and Star Trek does come up every 2 seconds with me.
I've never seen an episode of Star Trek. Not one.
What are you, crazy?
I just haven't. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I would like to.
There's something wrong with him. It starts with the language.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that accent? Anybody with that kind of accent won't watch Star Trek.
We only just got TV in Australia, let alone Star Trek.
Really?
Fucking hell, no.
What do they got? Skippy the Bush Kangaroo?
Very popular show to this day.
I remember that one.
Jesus, how do you remember that?
That was an old.
Is that a real
oldie.
show?
It was,
That was Skippy the
it was
Bush
basically
Kangaroo.
like Lassie, but it was
Right.
kangaroo based. and so, like, you'd have this kid called Sonny, he'd fall down a well, and Skippy would come out going, and they go, "What's that, Skip? Sonny's falling down the well." Now, the thing is, they always used to get Skippy to point the direction, and they could never get the kangaroo to do that. So they used to just fucking go into the bush, kill another kangaroo, cut its arm off, and there'd be some cameraman poking this dead limb.
Suddenly the laughter ebbed out of the room.
What happened? How do you know that's true?
That's hilarious, though. That's
Not
true.
really.
Which is a great segue into your book,
not
by the
big
way.
kangaroo. Yes.
It's you're a funny dude. It's called Shatner Rules, and I didn't read the whole thing because we had I was reading another biography, but I read the first couple of chapters.
One eye with on the one book and the other eye on the other.
I know,
book?
I'm not a good multitasker.
that's how he
We've
does
had a lot of authors in lately, but
I love the writing in this.
authors.
And
Thank you.
The first one's about the Comedy Central roast where you got roasted,
Yeah.
and it was funny because you put some comebacks that you should have said there in this, and you don't seem to take yourself seriously at all, which is great.
Well, there's not much to take seriously about. You got to handle your material, and there's not much to handle here. No, I'm joking. The laughter ebbed out.
We're like, wait a minute.
Cutting out the arm of a kangaroo.
I'm just glad it's not just me, to be honest with you. Thanks for making the Skippy story look good.
You and I should unite on publicizing this book. So the book It does carry some of those. I mean, somebody yesterday said I'm getting a seat on the subway because I read the book in the subway. I start cackling out loud, and people move
they
aside.
kind of move. They think,
'cause they think they're
somebody's
crazy, and then they sit down in the subway.
When I think of you, to me, the best definition of you is the SNL sketch you did, where you kind of goofed on, it's a show, get over it. Like, that's how I kind of view your personality, and I read everything kind of hearing it in that voice.
And that's kind of
And chapter 2 is to be a Shatner, you must know Shatner. I kind of finished that where you just list a bunch of facts about yourself, which are interesting and fucking hilarious. Like, I don't know why I like the one about your first movie, which you said, what was it called? I can't. My first film, in a 1951 Canadian film titled "The Butler's Night Off." I've never seen it, and I don't know why that interested me so much. You've never seen the first movie? You did.
So much I haven't seen it. I avoid watching it.
As you should.
The book is funny, and the book attempts to say, and there's a group of guys. I'm telling your listening audience here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8, 9 guys in the room here, and
one woman short of a rape.
Of a minion, and everybody's got a voice. And my book, I don't know how I'm going to relate this, is the concept behind the book is to say yes to opportunities. So you guys have all said yes, you're going to be here. We're having an adventure together just by the very fact that you're here. My book says say yes. To opportunity, yes to life, and that's the basis of the book. And everything is told, hopefully with humor, but with that idea in mind.
That's a pretty good philosophy to have. Very unlike the character in the Twilight Zone, that kept putting the penny in the machine, and his life was pretty much being dictated by every little slip that came out. He goes, should we leave? Should we leave now? Should we check if the car's repaired? Very different.
But what a great science fiction concept or horror concept.
It's fantastic.
It's a great, the writing, the writer who said, I was doing this machine. Wouldn't it be marvelous if somebody's life was dictated? I'll write that script.
Yes, and you know what else was great about that? There wasn't any weird, scary thing in there. The whole thing, it wasn't supernatural. It was just somebody's paranoia and them getting caught up in something.
Right.
Yeah.
But it made a Twilight Zone.
It was a very
and struck a sort of universal note.
Yeah.
It's around. More.
Unlike, of course, there's a man on the wing. I always liked that one too.
And that one too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, surely that stemmed from if we were meant to fly, we'd have wings.
Right.
Now, who did that first? Was that you or Lithgow who did that first?
Who'd what?
Oh,
you
Shatner.
or John Lithgow?
Shatner
I'm
did it.
kidding.
Stop it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jimmy, you know what?
It's
I don't
hard
even
to
care
tell,
if you're
Bill.
kidding. You
It's
don't
hard to
insult
tell.
Bill Shatner like that.
No, his little smiley face looking up at you.
I know,
You don't know whether he's
I
kidding.
know.
You don't know whether
Yes.
he's real. or
Yeah.
not.
Can I say another great thing that I like, and I want to ask you about this? It's another funny fact number 12. I once got into a fist fight on stage during the Broadway run of The World of Susie Wong with Australian actor Ron Randell. For 50 years, he's ignored my challenges for a rematch. Coward! Editor's note, Mr. Randell died in 2005. It's fucking funny,
when he
man.
heard me issue that challenge, he died.
It's great, man.
That is awesome.
Did you really? But what spurred the fist fight? I've been wanting to ask you that for a week.
He used to clap me on the shoulder somewhere after opening night when the show's supposed to be frozen. When he had a laugh on some line, and he'd clap me on the shoulder like, "Hey, hail fellow, well met." If the laugh was good and loud, he would just be a tap. But if he missed the laugh, either in rage or frustration or thinking it was my fault, he'd hit me hard. So after a while, I'd say, "Ron, that seems becoming all about my absorbing your punch." And he was an Olympic swimmer. Had been.
Oh.
All Australians are.
Yeah, apparently
He never
so.
let up. And I kept asking people, will you ask him to not hit me so hard? Stage manager, Josh Logan, the producer, everybody. And finally, one day, after months of this, I said, if you hit me again, I'm going to hit you back. So he took that as a challenge. So he hit me on stage.
Wow.
So I hit him back on stage.
In the middle of the show.
In the middle of the show.
Oh, what a great show.
And
that
then,
must have been.
when the first act curtain came down, he came charging over at me, swung. I ducked, and he hit a prop guy in the face.
Now, did the crowd think that was part of the show?
Yeah. Well, we just kept going.
They just-
And what I didn't write about, because what happened after that was finally, the curtain came down, and everybody left the theater, including me. And the next evening, we all went to our dressing rooms, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and those dressing room doors are kept open by a wedge because it's a fire door. And so to keep them open, they're wedged. I'm in my dressing room, and in he comes, and he's looking for a fight in the dressing room, in a 12 by 12 dressing room. That's like being locked in a cage with a mountain lion. The stage manager got between us. Somebody kicked the wedge out. The door shut, and there were 3 guys in a small room.
Oh shit!
And I had a picture, a mental image of his jugular, and I was going to go bite him on the jugular. That's where I was going.
Maniacal.
They finally kept us apart.
Now, did you ever make up with?
Oh yeah.
You know how much history would have changed if like, say you would have bitten his neck and then they just threw you out acting. Just like, you can't hire this guy. He bites the neck of the other actors.
On the neck, yeah.
Like how different life would be.
Well, I might have been hired. Let's get him to bite somebody on the neck.
That's true.
I've seen Bill deliver a karate chop, though. That probably would have taken him right out.
Yeah.
One of those quick, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Like
and
that. Yeah.
quick pork chop too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
Whatever kind of chops you need.
Do you really suffer from tinnitus?
I do.
Which, by the way, funny line. For many years, I've suffered from tinnitus. That's where I pulled that out of. Now it only flares up when I don't want to listen to all those questions about Star Trek. Fucking great.
You know what tinnitus is?
It's when you have that ringing in your ears, right? From where'd you get it from?
Well, I got it from an explosion, but sound engineers have it, rock musicians have it.
Radio people.
Radio people have it. You
got it from Warp Drive.
Armed forces have it a lot.
What explosion?
Explosion on set, actually. The doors were shut. They should have been cracked because of the air charging, and they didn't. And ever since then, it's gotten worse over the years.
And when it's funny. For your roast, you asked Leonard Nimoy to come, and he said no. He couldn't handle it. Right?
He knew more than I did.
Oh,
I hadn't really seen that.
Oh no!
Did you
I
enjoy
thought,
the roast?
that's like Frank Sinatra's roasts and Dean Martin.
Right.
Hey, look at it, funny, and it wasn't that at all. That's
very insulting.
That's really mean. Did you see the Charlie Sheen one?
I did.
Oh, yeah,
I thought you were very good on the show.
Thank you.
We had a couple of friends that
But that's like
were part of the roast.
what?
Patrice and Amy.
O'Neill and Amy Schumer are friends of ours.
Well, first of all, it's very funny.
Yes.
But it's like an intervention.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me, why not have an intervention and shaming people? Look what you've done to your family. Look what you've done to your friends. Look what you've done to yourself. You lost your job. You lost all the money. And the person is like cowering and feeling so badly, they think I got to go get a drink. Right? I mean, that's what an intervention is. Why not do it with humor? You're a funny guy. Look what you've done, and mock them with humor, so it's less an attack and more an observation.
Right.
Yeah.
So you seem to have a pretty thick skin about stuff like that. Like you're not easily.
I am. Don't say anything mean.
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle having one about myself. I think that was people.
No,
that would be a little
it's
much.
terribly thick.
Wait a minute. That isn't like you're locked in a room with 8 guys here with a microphone, and you think nobody's listening anyway.
Yeah.
Michael, this channel, there's 1,000 people in the audience, and there's all these people on the dais laughing. Ha ha! He's getting it. His turn to be whacked. And then it's awful.
It looks very uncomfortable at times, and you have to kind of sit there and laugh. But yeah,
You
got
mean the audience, or the person there?
I would think the person there would have to.
The person there is gritting their teeth.
Yeah,
Are
you got to
kidding?
make believe it doesn't bother you.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
I
really
think you
matter. Ha ha.
You got to be good at acting.
It can only be done in America. The British couldn't do it.
There would be a fight.
No. In the end, they'd just be polite to each other. They would just fall in with, "No, I'm not going to say that. I quite like you."
Yeah, but the British get skewered in their papers.
Fuck you.
The tabloid
papers.
Yeah.
As bad as ours are, the English are just
way worse.
Well, their mainstream papers are like our tabloid papers. It really is kind of. I like the nudity in it, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The wonderful thing, just have tits on page 3.
Yeah, for no reason.
Like it's part of their rights. They've tried to take them away, and the English are just like, what? And sometimes in some of the papers in the Sun, they'll have like Jenny with her tits out, and then a speech bubble saying what Jenny thinks about the war in Iraq.
That's very funny, but I don't want to get push this book too much, except to say that it's a great read, and I urge your listeners to. It debuted, or it dropped Tuesday, and next Tuesday, but you can get it now. my record is
which we played Iron Man from, which you're getting a lot of.
Hey, listen, I came up in the elevator to the Opie and Anthony channel.
Yes.
And some young man with his hair combed up with a lot of brass and leather.
Jose.
Was it Jose? The
Yes.
spokesman for heavy metal?
Liquid metal.
I heard your record. It's great heavy metal. We need heavy metal. I said, well, if I get on the air, I'll talk about the energy that was necessary to do this song with Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
20 of the greatest musicians alive today are on Seeking Major Tom. But for the moment, Zakk Wylde is. Have you ever had him up here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you know what an
Jimmy's a
extraordinary
giant
individual
fan,
he is.
too, yeah.
Right? And what a fabulous musician.
Amazing.
I mean, apparently he went. I didn't know this. He went from being 130-pound skinny guy playing for Ozzy, right?
Yeah.
And then he went from that to this muscled up dude with tattoos and a long ponytail. Where that transformation took place, I don't know.
Right.
But I was in a studio and watching him lay down his tracks for Iron Man, which in this arc of what happened to Major Tom when after the Bowie song, what did happen to Major Tom when he stepped out of the capsule? I speculate in all these songs. Walking on the Moon, Space Cowboy.
Okay.
You got it? So
There's a
then he
theme
begins
to
to
it, then.
die, and he begins to hallucinate, and we go into his background, Bohemian Rhapsody. We get to the Twilight Zone. And finally he goes to heaven. He imagines heaven with the Sinatra song, Querying God. How could you let this happen? And goes to hell in Iron Man. So I tell Zakk Wylde, this is the concert. He says, I want to be part of it. And I go up to his studio, and I've laid down my track. I'm doing Iron Man, Iron Man, Iron Man. I go up to the studio, and he is a madman with this extraordinary fingering of his guitar and the voice and the energy, the pure energy, the artistry of Zakk Wylde. Well, I fell over. I had no idea. I had to go back to the studio days later and lay down another track to match the energy.
He did the vocals, right? That was Zach singing?
I'm singing with him.
Right, you are.
Backups and then
one of us was doing the backup to the other at various times. It was, but my eyes and my vocal cords were open at the concept of heavy metal. I had no idea.
Yeah, Zach's very good. Yeah, and so you listen to his guitar tracks and
his vocals,
and you had laid the vocals down already. So you were kind of like, oh boy, I gotta.
That's exactly
right. Step this up.
This is. I've done nothing. I'm the weak sister.
I phoned it in.
Exactly. I had no idea. Heavy metal's foreign to me. I guess you have to comb your hair up and wear black leather. And I got a headbanger award, an honorary headbanger award from Revolver magazine for this number. And the one question I kept getting. What the hell are you doing here?
But he even called it a number. That's old school. That's what Ozzy introduced. We're going to do a number now. That's old school.
What else do you call it?
A song or this one, but Ozzy calls it a number. That's the way you should address it, as a number. So you think a little more metal based than you think.
And Mr. Shatner's 80, right?
The what?
How old are you now, sir?
37. 37, 38. That's where I think I left off. I stopped.
Thinking about
in my
age?
own mind, I stopped about 37.
It's
or
just
38.
amazing.
Yeah, you really did.
First of all, you don't look your age whatsoever.
Or act it. You're an amazingly healthy energy.
You're able to keep up with Zakk Wylde. Are you kidding me? That's pretty crazy in its own right.
Well, that's, I think, DNA.
You don't think it's good living?
Well, it's that too. I haven't abused myself too much.
Yeah.
Now, do you drink or do you eat unhealthy, or are you fairly regimented?
I probably I don't know you and your habits, but
terrible.
Terrible. Well, then I'm regimented.
You used to be a smoker, right?
What?
You were a smoker.
A long time ago. I gave it up a long time ago.
Because I remember you doing when you did the cover of Rocket Man, and you had that cigarette. You looked cool.
We played that earlier. It was
cool.
I was trying to do some.
That's the reason why I took up smoking.
I was glad I was able to help you between all those sawbones of the kangaroo.
You're cutting off kangaroo arms.
Right. It's better to cut off their tails. They live. You cut off their tails because they eat them, and they grow a new tail.
Kangaroos?
I don't know that.
I know certain reptiles.
I
I've
yeah,
never heard
wasn't
of
a kangaroo
kangaroo.
reptile?
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of the gorn. I think the gorn is.
I'm throwing that out there as a possibility.
Ed knows more about Star Trek than Mr.
Of
Shatner.
course, I do.
No,
Was that
he
Star
knows
Trek
more
reference?
about Star
Yes,
Trek than
Shatner
anybody.
knows that.
He doesn't know
I
this
just
stuff.
never stop.
I don't think he knows
I
this stuff.
never stop with the Star Trek references.
Well, let me tell you about another
can't.
Star Trek thing that I've
Oh,
done. Now, wait a
please.
minute. You're going to love this.
All
okay?
right.
I directed a documentary I called The Captains. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was released on Epix television, and it's going into the theaters in Canada, and it's coming out as a DVD here October 20th, in a couple of weeks. Ooh. DVD of The Captains is really sensational. It made its premiere on the aircraft carrier, the Intrepid, one summer's evening this past summer, while the sun was setting and the skyline of New York was lighting up. A huge screen on the landing deck and 1,000 people watching this film. It's all about the actors. It's all about the actors, the human beings who played the captains in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. But it's about their character. It's about their soul. It's about what we have in common, what we have as differences. Something marvelous happened in this documentary. It has an arc and a meaning, and it's funny and it's soulful. And there's even an interview with there you are, 80 years old.
George Takei.
There you are, 80. With
George Takei, Leonard
our
Nimoy.
the musician.
A musician. Oh, shit. Zach
Okay.
Wilde.
In which we, I'll name a company in a second. He's a good buddy, and now I can't think of his name. In which we sing the interview.
Oh,
okay. It's so much fun. It's a DVD called The Captains, and it's coming out October.
You keep so goddamn busy.
He's written.
How many? Yeah, how
30 books.
30 books.
You're going to love this.
30.
Star Trek. You're going to love this. After that documentary and the success of the documentary, they said, what else do you want to do? I said, well, I'd like to examine why people go to conventions. Why in this particular case, people go to the Star Trek conventions.
Yeah.
So I went to Vegas, where they were having the largest Star Trek convention of its kind ever. 20,000 people. And I shot a documentary on why people go to conventions. I had written a book some years earlier called Get a Life, in which I discovered through interview that they were going there to see themselves, to see each other, to partake of each other. That's what I discovered in the book. What I discovered in the documentary, which I'm calling Fanatics, and it'll be released in a few months, is that they're there out of passion for each other, passion for the subject, but another deeper meaning. Joseph Campbell wrote a book called A Hero with 1,000 Faces. Had the theory, and it's obvious that it's a fact, that every culture has its mythology, starting from way back, even before the Greeks. Mythology. Star Trek is this culture's mythology. Mm-hmm. The actors who play the captains are their heroes. They partake in the ritual of the mythology by going to the convention, by wearing the costumes, by getting the autographs, by getting the doodads, by what you are doing in your passion for Star Trek.
Just remembering lines and scenes.
What you are doing.
Amazingness.
By that he means
participating in the ritual of the mythology.
Yeah.
And it's an honorable thing.
Yes, especially while languishing in alcoholism.
It's also 20,000 people trying to lose their virginity. So that's,
In one fell swoop.
Wait, are you
lying on the floor, writhing.
William has to go soon because he has other interviews.
10 o'clock interviews.
But what are you doing a signing today? I believe you are doing one. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
12:30?
12:30 at...
I don't know. Do we have it?
How do we not have that
at Barnes
information?
and Noble.
How do we not have that?
12:30 at Barnes and Noble down here on
There's a big one on Fifth Avenue.
On Fifth Avenue.
It is Fifth
Yeah,
Avenue.
the Fifth
That's in Union Square, and that's a massive Barnes and Noble. And there's plenty of room to stand inside, so you're not going to be outside.
And I'm going to do exactly 1 hour. And exactly
One of your Earth hours. It was like when they had to say that, you know.
So I better get down there because I'm going to sign them quickly and
get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, the book. Should we plug everything? 'Cause
yeah.
you know-
Well, I want to play another song off his CD too.
What song are you going to play? You know
I
what
was
I
gonna
haven't
ask
heard?
you.
I haven't heard Twilight Zone. When I recorded, I thought, this could be pretty good, but I haven't heard anybody play it. Why don't you play,
we'll play
Twilight Zone?
And you know what? You got Warren Haynes. I love the Warren Haynes.
I mean, just read that list of musicians that are on
Warren
that.
Haynes knows how to play.
I mean, my God.
man.
Sheryl Crow sings Mrs. Major Tom. Lyle Lovett, Brad Paisley. And then you go on with Peter Frampton, John Welton, Wayne Kramer. Michael Schenker, Ernie Watts. I mean, the list goes on and on
and on and on.
And also Zach, and I love the Iron Man version. I like the fact that you sang it. I thought it was cool. And there's
Thank
on
you
YouTube.
so much.
On YouTube, you can see clips of him going, "I am Iron Man," trying to get the opening. And
But
it
you
was
know
cool.
what that clip is? That clip is me in the first.
Right.
The first, when I laid that track down first.
Before you
and I'm
heard
trying to find the music, and I can't find it. I couldn't find it because I wasn't doing it right. Only when Zach showed me the way was I able to do it.
Yeah, it's
and Zach
amazing
sounds
that-
like Ozzy.
Yeah, he sounds great. He
For,
can
for
sing.
a minute there, I thought it was Ozzy himself. So, all right, we'll do Twilight Zone. What the hell?
And it's
That's
out in
the
a
one-
week.
Yeah.
Right. It's called Seeking Major Tom. You can get that
It
on
drops on the this Tuesday, but it's out there now, wherever, whatever. Yeah.
And Shatner Rules is out now. It's hilarious. The 2 chapters I've read, I loved. And he's signing today, 12:30, Barnes and Noble. And
very cool,
you're just
William
great. We love
Shatner.
you.
Thank you so much for coming in. We always
Thank
love
you.
having you on, man.
Absolutely. And quickly, Jim Jeffries Stress Factory
Yes,
starting
Stress
tonight for the
Factory
weekend.
through
And
the
Jimmy's
weekend.
going to be at the Stress Factory soon.
Early in November, and I'm at Pittsburgh at the Improv at the end of October.
And we love you, Bill. You got to come in and see us again soon, man. We love when you come by.
Beautiful. I love talking to you guys.
All right,
you.
William Shatner,
And now you
everyone.
got
This
your
is
own channel.
Twilight
My
Zone.
Lord, it's just
We'll check this out as we say goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Somewhere in a lonely hotel room, there's a guy starting to realize that his eternal fate has turned its back on him. And it's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. The fear is gone. I'm sitting here, waiting. The gun's still warm. Maybe my connection is tired of taking chances. Yeah, there's a storm on the loose, sirens in my head. I'm wrapped up in silence, all circuits are dead. I cannot decode, my whole life spins into a frenzy. Help, I'm stepping into the twilight zone. The place is a madhouse, feels like being cloned. My beacon's been moved under moon and star. Where will I go now that I've gone too far? Help, I'm stepping into the twilight zone. The place is a madhouse, feels like being cloned. My beacon's been moved under moon and star. Where will I go now that I've gone too far? You will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. Soon you will come to know when the bullet hits the bone. I'm falling down a spiral destination unknown, a double-crossed messenger, all alone. I can't get no connection, I can't get through. Where are you? Well, the night weighs heavily on this guilty mind, this far from the borderline. And when the hitman comes, he knows damn well he's been cheated. Help! I'm stepping into the twilight zone. The place is a madhouse, feels like being cloned. My beacon's been moved under moon and star. Where am I to go now that I've gone too far?
Help, I'm stepping into the twilight zone. The place is a madhouse, feels like being cloned. My beacon's been moved under moon and star. Where am I to go now that I've gone too far?